I'm live. Porterweight Podcast. Oh, yes. We're live again. All right, so here's the thing. Probably should have thought about this before we got started, but I can't see the action. So I'm going to have to. All right, there we go. All right, you fixed it. So today, so they call it boxing talk, and basically the inductees and whatever other special guests they have here. A special guest will be like myself, will be like Terrence Crawford, other fighters and judges, referees, people who are a part of this sport, obviously elite fighters that aren't being inducted, but they still want to be involved. They have us all go up there at some point during this weekend and basically just QA. Somebody's in the way. But that's what's going on right now. So right now they got judges and referees on the stage. They got Kenny Bayless he's got the microphone right now. I think Tony Weeks might be up there. Everybody's up there. A lot of guys from the West Coast are actually up there. Jack Reese is up there. A few other judges and referees, and basically right now they're just kind of talking about what happens in fights, certain situations, what you do in those situations. They're also talking about personal experiences, what they done in certain situations. Who was that? Rob. What's this referee's name? I can't think of the referee's name that was in the ring, but he was just speaking about Canelo and Caleb Plant and the little back and forth that they had in in the fight. You know, Caleb saying, "Hey, I'm pretty good, right?" Yeah, and you know, y'all know how that all played out with Canelo, but he chose to talk about that, share that story. So they're up there right now, just sharing stories. Do we have audio of them? Can we get some? No, not too good right now, but that's what's going on today. Hey, Doug, come over right quick. So this is cold call right now. I'm pulling him in. It is what it is. He's just gonna deal with it. Yeah, you're gonna deal with it.
Of course, man. I would never say no to a fighter from Ohio.
I beg to differ, Doug.
The greatest fighters.
I beg to differ,
My favorite
Doug.
fighters are all Ohio fighters.
We have not interviewed in years.
Yeah, it's been a long
We
time.
haven't interviewed since I turned pro.
Probably, yeah. It was at
And
Wild Card Boxing Club.
Apparently, that was a favor for my dad.
Oh.
Because I've gone on
Hey, you
to
know what?
do some significant things, and
you
I've
know-
never heard from you.
You know what I tell people? What I tell people who are buzzing right now about Devin Haney is I met Devin Haney for the first time, and he was a boy.
Yeah.
He was a preteen.
Was
and
it 14? Yeah.
It was you and your father.
Yeah.
And you both said, this guy's the future.
Yeah.
This guy's going to do something.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. I wrote it down. I wrote the name. Okay. I talked to him a little bit.
Yeah.
He was kind of shy.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah,
And
yeah.
it was after some major fight in Las Vegas, probably in the media center of the MGM Grand.
Yeah.
But his face is the same.
Yeah, yeah.
But
yeah.
his body just kept
Yeah.
growing and
Yeah.
growing. And so you and your father tipped me off to Haney years ago.
Yeah.
And then shortly after he turned pro, I remember Zab Judah telling me,
Yeah, 'cause
watch.
he basically
just
was in Zab's.
you watch.
He was in Zab's corner and camps and stuff like that when he was literally a kid.
He's a prodigy. So
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
23 years old and undisputed champion. Lineal Ring Magazine lightweight champ.
Let's
Not
start
too
right
shabby.
there. Let's start right there real quick. What did you think about the fight? People were
I
telling me that they thought it was boring. And
I thought it was
dull.
compelling because
Yeah.
he was in Australia.
Yeah.
And Kambosos is dangerous. Kambosos
Yeah.
is a real contender. He's
Yeah.
a real top lightweight. Now you could say he got lucky in becoming the Unified
Of
Ring
course.
Magazine
Yeah.
champion because
course.
and obviously it wasn't Teofimo Lopez at his best. I think Lopez
Right.
was there physically. He was checked out
Right.
mentally.
Right.
And Lopez has divulged, other like health things. But
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's it. I think it was an awesome fight. It was like a throwback fight. It was like watching Carmen Basilio and Tony DeMarco because it was bloody and they were hitting each other.
Yeah, yeah.
But that let me know that, hey, this Kambosos guy, and I believed that he would be tough.
So
He's of Greek descent and he's an Australian.
Here's my
They're nothing
theory.
if they're not rugged.
Here's my theory on the way that this fight played out. They did not have a true understanding of the skill of Devin
Yeah.
Haney. they didn't have a true understanding of the speed and the quickness and the agility.
And he was
Haney.
ready. I think they were looking
And
at him
Devin was
like
ready.
you know what? You are basically a prospect with a green belt, and you think you're somebody, and I'm going to show you. And it was Haney that showed Kambosos because Haney basically put handcuffs on Kambosos, and Kambosos couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything to take the handcuffs off. And he lost spirit, which I didn't think was possible. I didn't think that Kambosos would ever not try. But at some point, he was reserved to like, you know what? You know, I'm not going to be champion at the end of these 12 rounds unless they rob this kid.
That's a fact.
You know, I helped make this gigantic event in my hometown.
Yeah.
And I'm getting $10 million, and that's my victory.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that he was like, okay, today's not my day. I can't beat this kid.
Yeah.
But Haney did better than I thought he would do. Here's what I thought. I thought Haney would outbox him, but Kambosos would outpoint him because of the score, because of the judges. I thought he would, and I thought Kambosos would catch him a couple times.
Yeah.
I thought Haney would get through it.
Yeah.
But I thought Haney would get froze, stunned, rocked, or be forced to hold on in a way that the judges be like, okay, that round is going to Kambosos.
So here's
and I
my
thought
theory.
it would be like a controversial
Here's
decision.
my theory, because I know how it is to be in a ring with somebody. It's like you get that finally get that opportunity to see and taste and feel and all those types of things. And while people thought that the first fight may have been dull or whatever have you, I personally thought it was very exciting. Of course,
it was compelling.
I'm invested.
It wasn't blood and guts.
I'm invested in Devin Haney. So for me, it was a little emotional investment, which added to it for me. But the rematch, I expect them to rematch. I'm hearing that, you know, obviously we don't know what's going to happen. I expect them to rematch.
Good.
I expect the rematch to be a lot more
you know why?
Lopez.
Do you know why? Because I think Kambosos is more comfortable being the challenger.
Yeah.
I think he's better. I don't
think it's that.
No,
I don't think it's that.
I thought he put a lot of pressure on himself.
Yeah.
He wanted it in his hometown. He wanted home country advantage. He wanted it to be a stadium fight.
Yeah.
Okay, when you do that, you're going to be doing a lot of media.
Put himself in a position he never experienced that before.
He thought that Haney would be tight under those bright lights.
Of
he
course.
thought Haney
Everybody
would be
did.
overwhelmed by the magnitude of the event.
Yeah.
Haney was loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
And by Haney not letting the magnitude of the event get to him, and by Haney not allowing Kambosos to get under his skin the way Lopez, his dad, you know, the way Teofimo and Senior did, I thought that got under Kambosos' skin.
Yeah.
So in a way, Kambosos got under his own. Kambosos got into his own head. Because I could tell by the final press conference and the weigh-in, Kambosos looks tight.
Yeah, he did.
He's not speaking with the same confidence. It sounds like bravado now. Sounds like bullshit.
So everybody, this is Doug Fisher. For anyone that doesn't know, you write for Ring Magazine.
I'm editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine.
I was gonna say, like, you're basically the guy at Ring Magazine. Ring Magazine is celebrating 100 years this year in the sport.
Can you believe it?
No, I mean, in my mind, it's only been 30 years, if not less. So I mean,
this was my reading. This was my reading on the plane.
Yeah,
because I know I was going to be a part of this lecture series and talk about a little bit about the history.
Yeah.
So I had the 50th anniversary, which, believe it or not, Nat Fleischer was still the editor-in-chief of Ring Magazine. 50 years later, 50 years after being the founder.
Right.
And so he made it to this milestone of 50 years. And I think he died like a couple months after putting out this magazine. Yeah. So these are some recent magazines. This is the most recent one. Game Changer and this. And I bought some. These are some older magazines because these are. This is some research I'm doing. I'm writing a story on Oscar De La Hoya's fight with Ricardo Mayorga.
Give my people a little taste of what it is that you've done at Ring Magazine. You've basically.
Well, at first I was a freelance contributor, and that goes to the mid '90s. That goes to like '94. And as a matter of fact, the first feature story that I had published in Ring Magazine was about a lightweight up and comer.
Who was it?
Shane Mosley.
Oh wow.
And like you knew you were familiar with Devin Haney as a lightweight up-and-comer because you knew him as an amateur.
Yeah.
You seen him in the gym. I knew Shane Mosley was going to be a future champion because I saw him at the gym. I saw him at the club fight level. I saw him fighting in parking lots and hotel ballrooms when he was 8-0 and 10-0 and 14-0. And but he was unknown, you know, until he won the IBF lightweight title in '97. But I wanted to have a story published on Shane before he won the title, just for the record to say.
Of course,
of
course,
man, because you know writers have egos, man.
What would you say is your favorite or one of your favorite, few of your favorite interviews? Fighters to interview.
You were always a good fighters from Ohio are good interviews. I don't know why. You and Kelly Pavlik. Adrian Broner. You guys are different depending on what part of Ohio you're from. You know, Ray Mancini's great to talk to. I don't know. It's an Ohio thing, you know, or if it's a Midwest or a Northeast kind of thing. But you're personable. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is. I do know that Cincinnati, that's South part of Ohio is 5 hours apart. And so they have more of a they're
street.
Who they are down there is a little bit different from who we are.
Aaron Pryor was a street level killer, man. You know, and he that was part of who he is. But you talk to a fighter from Columbus and they sound like a college student. You know, because it's a college town. And the big university there. And then you talk to the guys, you know, who came out of Toledo or Springfield. They're working class. Because those towns are old steel towns. You know, those are old factory towns. You know, and you just like you know, just like Youngstown. And
that's exactly.
There were great fighters coming out of Youngstown before Ray Mancini. You know what I mean? You got like Tommy Bell, who never won a world title, but I mean, he gave Ray Robinson hell in 1946 when they were fighting for the vacant welterweight title. You know, and you got a lot of fighters out of Youngstown.
Well, we got a trilogy this year. Out of everyone who's going in, or of everyone who's going in, what are you looking forward to from these fighters as they give their acceptance speeches?
Oh my gosh, I expect a lot. I expect emotion from guys that normally they don't show emotion. Like they talk well, like Bernard Hopkins and Andre Ward.
Bernard was the first one that came to my mind.
Yeah, Bernard can talk, as we all know, but I think he'll get emotional. I think the moment will get to him.
I feel like he shows emotion, he just never like sensitivity.
He keeps it under wraps.
Because there's emotion in every word.
No, you're right. You're right. There's emotion, but it's like it's strong emotion. It's not like the vulnerable type of emotion. And I think he and Andre Ward's the same way. He's more concise and eloquent. And well thought out. And Bernard is passionate and stream of conscious. And they're both articulate in their own way. But they keep a rap on like they're not going to show you vulnerability. They're just like they're too proud. You know,
and Wolf is going in. Laila Ali is going in.
Yeah, Laila Ali.
You've
I
had
expect
great
a lot
experiences with them, right?
Yeah, of course. I sparred with Laila Ali.
I
was
did
the
too.
first person she ever sparred with. She tried to knock me out. Yeah,
I wasn't the first, but
I couldn't hit her. You know, I couldn't hit her because I had not seen her. You have to. She's big and athletic, man.
Where's my single? I hit Layla.
She might try to knock you out,
she
man.
She just got here, so I'm gonna try to get her on.
I had to do my best imitation of Pernell Whitaker, man. Once I was in the ring with her and she had the headgear on and she had the mouthpiece in. She came over to me and said I think it was her first time sparring. She comes over to me. She leans in like, "You gonna be mean to me?" And she sounded and she looked like her father. And in that moment, I'm like, it wasn't that I can't hit a woman. It was because she's bigger and stronger than me.
It's how do I hit this woman?
It was I can't hit Muhammad Ali's daughter.
Oh wow!
Like I'm in the ring with like the progeny of royalty, and like literally it was a closed sparring session. It was at the LA Boxing Club after dark. They shut it down because she was training for a whole year in secrecy.
Wow.
She didn't want anybody to see her. So she was working out for a whole year, and you just heard about it.
Wow.
Did you know Muhammad Ali's daughter works out here? I was like, no, she doesn't. I don't see her. And like, no. After they close, they unlock it for her.
Nice.
And she was training with a guy who was training me, a guy named Kevin Morgan.
Okay.
And so Kevin Morgan like, Doug, I think it's time for Laila. I think it's time for Laila to spar. I want it to be you. And I'm like, why me? I was like, because you're afraid to hurt anybody. And I'm like, well, that's true.
Yeah.
You know. And I said, I mean, that's kind of weird, you know. Like, are you sure? And so we did it, and I couldn't. She was trying to kill me, and I was just trying not to get killed.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really compelling action or whatever. But I admired her because most newbies who spar for the first time, if they swing and miss on somebody for 2 or 3 rounds, they're done. Yeah. They're gassed out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they were tough guys. They were like gang type dudes.
I was waiting on you to say something wrong.
They were gang type dudes that would try that with me. They just didn't like the way I looked.
1 round, 2 rounds.
I'm a nerd walking in there with a briefcase and a tie and glasses.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna fuck this guy up or whatever. And I wasn't comfortable trying to go toe to toe with people, but I would stay safe for 1 round, and they were done. And then I could push them around.
Yep.
And I took mercy on them, and it drove Kevin Morgan nuts. Like, kill the guy. You can beat him. Like, no, because I know for a fact this dude's in a gang.
Yeah.
He may take it personally, so I'm gonna be nice. But I was in control. That didn't happen with Laila.
No,
Laila was gassed, and she kept her form.
Yeah,
she was gassed.
That's what's up.
And I think we went more than 3 rounds.
That's what's up.
And I was like, you know, she's serious about this.
Last thing I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna let you go. How many times have you been to the Hall of Fame?
This is my first time. This is my first rodeo. I've been here before, but not during the induction ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Not during induction weekend.
Well, that crushes my question. I was gonna ask.
This is very special for me.
Of your experiences, like what you know, can you talk about some of the experiences you've had here?
I'm experiencing it right now with you.
And that's why.
But let me tell you something.
That's why I brought the podcast.
When I left my room at the Days Inn and walked over here, I bumped into this dude. Literally bumped into him. Yeah. And it was Reggie Johnson.
Yeah. Oh,
and
wow.
I remember Reggie from the LA boxing days. He used to train there in the 90s, and it's awesome to see the Hall of Fame inductees, but it's just as special to see the people who were part of their legacy, part of their legend.
For sure.
The fighters like Reggie Johnson, who were really good fighters, and maybe some young fans may not know about. But he was a 2-division title holder.
For sure.
Middleweight and light heavyweight, and obviously he fought everybody because he fought James Toney, he fought Antonio Tarver, and he fought Roy Jones Jr. And they're all being inducted.
Yeah.
I mean, that's awesome.
Well, Dougie, man, I appreciate you for your time, blessing the podcast.
I appreciate you,
and I got to get you on another time.
Please
man.
do. It's an honor. All right, take care.
Later, everybody. That's Doug Fisher. What'd you call it? Executive Chief? What'd you call it?
Editor-in-Chief.
Editor-in-Chief. / executive.
Executive side.
Of Ring Magazine right there. Another boxing historian who's been in and through and around the sport for a very long time, documented a lot and knows a lot. Let's see what is you coming in? Oh, that's love. Hey y'all, we got the executioner. What's up, sir?
Everybody good?
Yeah, man, everybody's good. You know it. You can sit down for a second?
Sure.
Yeah. 5 minutes. I'm not gonna kill you. 5 minutes. We got the executioner, Brenagh Hopkins. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Are you 2021?
Do I need this one?
Yeah. Are you 2021?
2020.
2020 Hall of Famer, Brenagh Hopkins, the executioner, the alien, is in the building.
Execution. Well, 3 brands.
There you go.
The executioner, 20 defenses, middleweight. The alien, that came because of age.
Yeah, I know.
40 to 52. Yeah. And then BHOP because it was in my shorts in the generation of that era, which is not too far behind.
Yeah.
Start hollering BHOP.
Yeah.
So, even the Hall of Fame, they didn't ask me, but I'm glad they did it on a plaque that hangs in the Hall of Fame.
Oh man!
It has the executioner, the alien, and BHOP. So these are 3 generations of 30 years. Yeah. I retired, 28. So let's round it off to 10 years.
You know what? Let's go here. I retired at 34 years old. You retired at what? 53?
52.
52.
I'm 57 now.
I had a plan, and I knew what I wanted to do. My dad and I, we didn't know how long it was going to take to accomplish everything that I personally wanted to accomplish. Before I turned pro, my dad says, I want you to retire when you're 30. This is not a sport you need to spend your life doing. You need to figure out what else you're going to do and be ready to do that by the time you're 30. I don't want you to not be able to walk, speak, have a family. The list goes on. So my plan was 30, and it took to me till 34 for me to say, all right, I'm done. Why 52?
I felt good. I'm still winning. I'm defending my championship amongst guys that's half my age.
Yeah.
And I was doing that in my early 40s.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to like really strategically pay attention to those moments of my life and my career. Let's go to the Trinidad fight. I was considered old at 35 years old, fighting a 20-year-old who's undefeated.
Yeah.
Whose star power is like up here. So I was been written off and really dictated by most who couldn't extend their career for whatever reason that long.
Yeah.
So from 35 years old up to 52, I was proven.
Yeah, it was kind of like you were.
But I was proven that I was taking the clock.
Yeah.
Not actually beating the clock, but I was pushing it back.
Yeah.
And look, I started pro at 25.
I know.
I turned pro at 25 years old.
Yeah.
So and all the other things that comes with taking care of yourself, having good fortune, not luck, to be able to withstand certain things. And look, I always say a good defense make a good offense.
Absolutely.
I didn't get hit a lot.
That's what people need to understand.
Is one thing, but the work is there. I don't even have to promote it or mention it. I'm just different.
Yeah.
I'm different in a lot of ways, Shawn.
Yeah.
It's not just the athleticism of my career that's already documented. I can't change it. I can fabricate it and not be true, and somebody look at it and say, no, we got it right here.
Right.
Or to remind me.
Right.
But the most important thing to me in the boxing business was that I learned the business of boxing.
Yeah.
And when I open a book up of the history of boxing, yes, the career is the career. But when I look at manager, promoter, matchmaker, and things like that, there's only 2 fighters in history that, other than being in the Hall of Fame as a professional fighter, that they're in a category of something different.
Yeah.
That's me and George. That's George Foreman, excuse me, George, and Bernard Hopkins. Know what it says? Manager of the year.
Oh, wow.
He didn't even know it.
Ooh.
The great Shawn Porter didn't know it. It's not to his fault. No, it's not. Shawn, it's a lesson here.
Yeah.
Of understanding how my thinking was.
Yeah. You.
That's more important to me.
Yeah.
That's more important to me from a distance in generations. So when someone inspired, a female boxer or a male boxer, look at that and say, "Oh, I can do that too."
Exactly.
And the prime example is that it's no fault to you, because some out there want to keep that from you.
Yeah.
They want you to stay in that box. You're the athlete.
Yeah.
You're the fighter.
Yeah.
Like they told LeBron's, shut up and just dribble the ball.
Yeah.
See, Shawn, you got a lesson that you didn't even know that, but you will see it and other stuff that you didn't know. When my documentary is shown, I'm so glad that Michael Jordan got his out of the way, that Kobe got his out of the way, that this guy's way.
Yeah.
When this one come, you gonna be like,
I told you. I said that need to go all the way.
Hold up, you gonna be like, I ain't know that.
Yeah.
I know he been in jail,
Yeah.
but he been stabbed 3 times.
Yeah.
He's showing the scars still in his right now to the day. I didn't know that he did this. I didn't know he did. This is stuff that's not tied to boxing, but it showed why I had that fire.
Absolutely.
And that never quit attitude.
Absolutely.
There are so many moments that I could have said, no mass.
Yeah.
I could have gave up.
Yeah.
There's so many moments that I could have just said, hey, I tried. You know what? I'm done with this. And I ain't just talking about a bad decision or legitimate decision.
Let me ask you this.
I kept going.
In those moments where you kept going, I've been there. I know those moments. Was it what was showing up? Was it I got to fight through this because I'm a fighter, or was it this is who I am as a person and I'm going through this? Like, what was it showing up for you that got you in and out of the ring all the way up until 52 years old?
It was, to me, proving that the norm shouldn't be attached to me.
Pay attention, y'all. God damn it. Pay attention.
The norm of normacy of what history have shown before me and what people think of me and what I can and cannot do, Shawn, was the biggest motivation. Yep. What I mean is that most of my energy that I use and that was spilled at me was fuel to the fire. It was motivation to me because I wanted to prove that decision or that opinion, which they are entitled to. I love people that look and eat crow after they were so, and they got their right to have their opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
But anybody in this Hall of Fame right now will not be telling you the truth if they tell you they don't want to be right about whatever they talking about or everything they say.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to be right.
Yeah.
Who's going to say I want to be wrong before I open my mouth?
Yeah.
Then nobody going to listen to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we don't have those choices. We got to make those choices.
Yep. You got to show.
Improve.
Gotta
Improve.
Show. Yeah. Yeah. Last thing I'm going to ask you. No surprise that you're coming in, that you're going to be in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Brenagh Hopkins, everybody. The Executioner, the Alien, and
BHOP.
BHOP. Was this always your part of your plan to be in the Hall of Fame?
As time went on, yes.
It became.
My plan was to get off this state parole in Philadelphia in the late 80s and the 90s. Any city in urban America know how those years was. I don't care if you're in New York. I don't care if you're in your state. I don't care if you're up inside the corner of the tri-state area from the top all the way down to Florida. I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be rich. I never wanted to be famous. I wanted to be rich.
Yeah.
Now
I got to go.
Now, before I'm gonna drop the mic on this one, and I'm
got to
definitely
go.
done after this one. Now that I said that,
Yeah.
as I evolved and time went on, and I start realizing, hold up, I accomplished that goal.
Mm-hmm.
I had to set other goals before those goals were accomplished because I know I can't be handicapped.
Come on.
So I wanted to be rich, not famous. It sounds cute. But if I ain't educated on how to keep it and do the right thing with it, I'm going to be poor again and I'm going to take risk again because I'm going to be back where I started and the career is gone, so I can't go back there. So now that I got this, I don't know how to.
My man just gave y'all his whole entire mindset.
I gave you a $1 billion game for 99 cents.
Come on.
So, Shawn, every connection that I seen beforehand, I was preparing myself like I took from my personal life, overcoming those demons that kept putting me back in jail.
Yeah.
I used that and reversed it and said, why can I inject this into my lifestyle thinking?
Yeah.
Lifestyle thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the example is, it'll never go away. I always will have that fire. I can't help myself. This is who I am.
I saw you. You remember, we were in New York. I got up about 7 o'clock in the morning to go get my miles in on the treadmill, and you were already in there.
I gotta go.
You were already in there.
Yeah.
And we can leave on this, but you were already in there.
Right. I was already in the gym. You was coming in.
But I'm in the middle of my career. I got to do this. Right. And my ignorance said, ask him why he's running on the treadmill right now. And you looked at me the same way you always look at me, the same way you always talk to me, the same way you talking right now. You said, man, this is a lifestyle. You made a decision. You want to be a champion.
Tell these folks, whatever they do, it got to be what?
It's got to be a lifestyle. It has to be
and
who
hopefully
you are.
it's positive.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm just making that clear.
Yeah, it has to be positive, but
lifestyle.
It has to be, you have to basically buy in to what you need to do.
Hey, I've been retired. You seen it? I don't know if I was on stage before.
Yeah.
The BHOP, I said I'm kind of overweight. I'm 4 pounds over my fighting weight.
Right.
I'm a little overweight.
Yeah.
I haven't fought. I retired 5 years ago.
Yeah.
and you 4 to 5 pounds over your fighting weight?
Yeah.
You kidding me?
Yeah.
What does that tell you? It's not a show off. Know what it's telling you? That is so many times when I was active, I mention it. Oh, he's just an athlete. He's supposed to be in shape all the time. That's where he is. Wait till he retire. They usually blow up, which they right. And that's not, you're enjoying your life.
For sure.
But you think I've done all this to enjoy life, to disappear and let my kids have all the fun?
Yeah.
That's not smart.
Yeah.
I got to be here to manage it now. Look, it takes just as much risk in your life and going through all the trials and tribulations, he know about them.
Yes, sir.
To get it.
Yeah.
And you necessarily don't have to get it. 2 or 3% makes the money that y'all think we make. Not 50 or 70% of boxers making the money that Mayweather made, or myself, or Roy Jones Jr., or Shawn Porter.
That's true.
But you got to be just as crafty and just as sharp to keep it.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
my message.
Yes,
That's
sir.
$1 billion worth of game for 99 cents.
Appreciate
Talk to you,
you.
Shawn Porter. Love you.
Love you too, man. Congratulations. We're talking a bit, all right?
Respect. Tell Dad that.
I will, man. I will. Yep. Talk soon, all right?
Grandpa.
Yes, sir.
You don't like that. No.
Yeah.
I want to respond from that's why I said that. Don't
Oh,
say that.
yeah. All right.
Man, that's what's up.
I will.
Yo,
Grandpa.
thank you.
Appreciate you.
You gonna give him one if you ain't give him one yet.
I got you. Yep, I got you. Everybody else, Bernard Hopkins. Bernard, I'm gonna talk about him. Let me wait till he go. Bernard, the intensity that y'all saw from Bernard is just who he is. Bernard's a lot like my dad, and I've learned a lot from Bernard over the years. I've learned a lot from my dad over the years as well. But where they are a lot the same is they basically attack everything the same way that if it's at the gym, if it's a meeting, if it's at the boxing gym training some guys, if it's putting together a deal for a fighter, if it's putting together a promotional team or doing a promotion, the list goes on. Y'all see me hustling. Y'all say, oh man, Shawn working. Shawn has learned from Kenny Porter, his dad, and Shawn has learned from guys like Bernard Hopkins. It's not just Bernard, but it's a whole list of people out there who have basically shown me that even when you retire, whatever it is you want to do, it's got to become your life, and it has to become a lifestyle, whether that is a family man or whether that is a podcaster or that is doing broadcasting on TV, and the list goes on. So what y'all see from me now, man, I'm just literally an extension of my dad. I'm an extension of Bernard Hopkins. You just heard Bernard talking about how he wanted to basically be the separation between what is and what can be. In a nutshell, that's basically what he said. Why did you fight till you was 52? Well, people told me I was old when I was 35, so I was proving them wrong. People said you can't do it when you're 40, so I was doing it. People said you can't do it when you're 45, and now I'm 52, and I just wanted to prove everybody wrong and show what's different. Now, definitely the contrary. I don't want to fight till I'm 52, but I'm showing everybody that you don't have to fight till you 40, 45, 52. If you do the right things in the ring and outside the ring, definitely you'll earn what needs to be earned so that you can start to do things that you want to do outside of the sport. So, you know, in a lot of ways, I am silently showing fighters that you don't have to fight until you're 40, 45, unless that's what you want to do. I'm showing fighters that it's okay to want to do other things in life. It's okay to have other aspirations and goals. And it's okay to want to prove those wrong, that they're going to look at you and tell you, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I publicly say I'm going to be in movies because I'm going to do it. I publicly say that I'm going to do go on the road and do this podcast. Or I'm going to go on the road and do motivational speaking and all those types of things because a lot of y'all look at fighters, think that we're uneducated, think that we're from the streets, think that we don't have mom and dad at home, and the list goes on. And I want to be the start of the anomaly. Bernard is an anomaly in this sport. Guys like Pacquiao and Floyd, anomalies in this sport. And it's okay to do things the way you want to in order to accomplish the goals that you want to accomplish. And I really appreciated last thing on Bernard, what he said about setting goals. He said, once I reached certain goals, I was already setting other goals to accomplish. And learned that from my dad. You know what I mean? That's how I got to where I got in this sport. because I had goals. I knew what I wanted to do. And, obviously once I got there, I said it's a wrap. People keep asking me, you going to get back in the ring? I have no intention on getting back in the ring. That remains to be seen. But I have no intention on getting back in the ring. I definitely want to thank Bernard and BHOP, the executioner, the alien. I would say, if anything, he's had 2 Hall of Fame careers. His names would indicate he's got 3 Hall of Fame careers. But we definitely want to thank him for his time and lending that to the podcast. I did see a super chat in here. Let me get to this real quick. Sam A. This is Hall of Fame class for 2020, 2021, and 2022. Bernard was 2020, I believe, is what he said. Let's get down. So good. That's the only super chat. What's up, everybody? I think we started with some fire. Tell somebody to jump on this podcast and check us out. It started with Bernard, but it ain't gonna end with Bernard. I do know Roy already left. I called him. I said, "Yo, come back." He said he got something to do, so I ain't even gonna say he's coming back. I don't expect him to come back. Who's on the stage right now? Y'all in the way. I gotta move. Keep moving. Who's on the stage? Laila's on the stage right now? Okay. So we got Laila Ali on the stage right now. We don't there's no way to get that better audio for them, huh? No, not even if I do this, huh? That ain't gonna work. You don't want to sit it down over there, nothing like that. All right, yep, I'll let it go. So we got Laila Ali on the stage right now. She's doing her boxing talk. I'm sure they're asking her plenty of questions about her dad and, of course, her Hall of Fame career herself. Hopefully when she gets down, she's probably going to have to do some signing, but we'll see if we can get her over here at some point. I do know Terrence Crawford is here. I haven't seen anybody else show up yet. I'm supposed to go do a signing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna do this podcast today, and then this will be it for me before the dinner tonight. But hope you guys are enjoying the Hall of Fame. The glimpse that I can give you guys this year. What my plan is to talk to the organizer of all this. Shout out to Ed Brophy. Hopefully we can get him on here at some point. But he's the organizer, the orchestrator. He puts everything together for the Hall of Fame. So the plan is to talk to him and hopefully be here in the years to come to give you guys an even closer look than we're able to give you right now this year. That's right. The Mac Mob, B-Hop dropping gems. I hope y'all paid attention. We are definitely publishing this so that y'all can rewatch everything that came from Bernard, man. He's a walking wisdom. You know what I mean? It's just wisdom in motion is what he is. You know, he personifies that word wisdom, and he's got plenty of it to give. So I'm glad he came over here and gave us a minute. It looked to me like he didn't want to do it, but because it was me, he did it. So I appreciate him for that. But definitely was intense. He's always intense, but it seemed a little on another level today. So hopefully nobody's irritating him or nothing like that. Y'all got any questions between now and the next guest we get? Please let me know. Francis G, what's good, boss? Appreciate your support, man. Go to sleep. Carson, I'm not texting Terrence to have him come over here, but I'm sure he will. Maybe I might have to text. We'll see. Hey, but I got a question for y'all because this was presented to me earlier. Got a lot of people out here that watch the podcast. I love it. Somebody walked up to me. I was confused by this question. I ran a 5K this morning, and they walked up to me and said, "Hey, Shawn, who in your crew would survive this 5K?" I was like, "My crew? Like, I'm out here by myself. Like, I don't got no crew." He said, "No, man, the podcast crew, who would survive it?" And I laughed. He says, "I don't think anyone would survive except for Zittel. What do y'all think? Who would survive a 5K run?" My answer to him was, I don't think Ant would survive it. Zittel would survive it, and Carson wouldn't even start it. So those were my answers. I'm pretty sure I'm on point with that, and I'm sure Carson will jump in and let me know that I'm right. Crazy question from Sam A. Did Bernard tell you about how he made a microwave oven out of a shoebox in prison? That's crazy. Carson on one. Shit, I have a better chance than Zittel. Yeah, right. Let me see what Zittel at. I'm gonna text Terrence too on the other side. That way. I can hear her a little bit in my headphones. There you go. It's not the best. And we got other people talking too. Yeah, we'll let it go. So Laila, it looks like she's still talking, but it looks like she might be getting off the stage soon. So we'll see what happens. Carson text Terrence, just so you know. Thank you for the great idea. See what Zittel at. People they walk and look right at the cameras. That's just hilarious to me. If Carson ran half and you ran half, I would count it personally. They probably wouldn't count it, but I would salute that, because there's no way Carson's gonna run 10 feet. So if we could get him to run a half of a 5K, or even walk it, he wouldn't even walk it. That would be tight though. Come on, Carson. I'm trying to get the whole crew out here next year for the podcast at the Hall of Fame. Let's go. Michael, let's do one final run at 54. See, do I even have Laila's number? Nope. Oh man. So let me tell y'all what went on today. We did the 5K this morning at 8:30. Any fighter can run in it. Terrence said he just left. Anybody can run in the 5K. This morning, who was in it this morning? The Towering Inferno. Sebastian Formella was in it. Wow, I said Sebastian Formella. Sebastian Fondor was in it. Juan Manuel ran it. My man was way ahead of me. Somebody else was asking. They said, "Yo, what other fighters are running in it?" I said, "Well, you know the Towering Inferno?" They said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, he's in it." I said, "But we can't see his head, so I think he's like way, way up there." Marlon Sterling was in it. Who else was in it? Ann Wolf showed up. She walked, which was cool. So, Carson, you got a walking buddy for the Hall of Fame 5K. Yeah, you're right. I should have texted when you said to. Who else? I think those were really the biggest names. There really wasn't too many fighters in it this year. I don't know why, but there weren't too many fighters in it this year. It was early. I didn't even want to go. I didn't want to go, but I felt like I had to go. So it was a good time. The city shows up for all of these events, which is amazing. People fly in. Of course, Syracuse is very close to Canastota. A lot of people come out, and specifically, I mean, a lot of kids were even running the 5K. A lot of start and stop, which was a lot of fun to see. But overall, I think the 5K went great, and I had a lot of fun being a part of that. What up, Ellie?
I'm good. How you guys doing?
I'm good. We'll come get on my podcast?
Let's do it.
Yeah, come on, man.
It'll be the lowest rated episode in the history of
Nah. Sam A, why is Formella hard to knock out? My honest answer about that, then we'll get you on, Ellie. My honest answer about that, I believe that, guys, this stuff is more mental than you guys realize, and this is not a cop out. But when a guy fixes his mind that he's not gonna win, but he just doesn't want to get knocked out, I honestly think that going up against me, Formella and his team, I saw this during the whole fight. They were quiet in the corner during the fight. Didn't really yell much at all. The last round of the fight, they felt like they got there. They felt like they were going to survive, and they were loud. They were lively in the very last round of our fight. I think that their plan, we don't get knocked out. We just have to make it through. We just have to win. And I personally, that's what I believe. You guys can, feel how you want to feel about that. But that is my theory. A guy like Formella is hard to knock out because he fixes in his mind. Like, that's not happening tonight, So it was hard for me. I hit him a lot. And it was hard for me to get him out of there. And we've seen in recent fights, he puts on a great fight. And he takes a lot of punches. But he survives. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Ellie Sekback.
Reporting.
There you go. I was like, is he going to finish it?
You know what's crazy? Back in the day, I used to interview Shawn Porter in hotel rooms in Los Angeles. Way back when. Before you were super famous, super successful. People don't know this about Shawn Porter. For 3 years, he didn't fight.
No, it wasn't 3 years. It was.
It felt like 3 years.
It was right at a year. Like,
a year.
Right at or right below, but above or below 365 days.
People don't know this.
No, people don't know that.
Crazy busy before you were fighting everything.
An entire year that I did not fight, and you could imagine like where I would be if I had not, been in the contract dispute for an entire year.
And that's what fans don't understand. You're a young fighter. You're hungry.
Yeah.
You're sparring Pacquiao.
Yeah.
There were rumors that you dropped Pacquiao. We love Manny.
You started that rumor.
Well, the camera disappeared.
Yeah, your camera disappeared.
Shout out to Manny Pacquiao. We really appreciate him. But I'm saying you were on the rise. You were getting a lot of notoriety, and then to sit on a bench for a year is very deflating. But
let me tell you this. You were the first interview that I'd had, like big interview as a professional fighter. I'd done tons of interviews and things like that. But my dad, we basically used the interview we did with you as kind of the as like film for a fight. So my dad was like, yeah. Look what you did. And he started correcting everything that I did, everything that I said, and how I looked, and all those types of things. My dad said, if anybody comes up to you with a camera again, they put it this close to you, take a step back, or tell them to take a step back. He said the camera's all up in your nose. Look at this. So we actually used that first video of you when we arrived back from the Philippines. We basically used that as, this is our mark of how we want to look, how we want to present ourselves, and from here, let's correct these certain things and let's go for it. You know what I mean? So thank you for that interview.
No, of course, Shawn. And listen, I'm very proud of you for a lot of things. One, that you never changed. You never went Hollywood.
No.
It's hard to deal with success. Nobody teaches you in life.
No.
Because Ronda Rousey, I knew her before she was famous.
Mm-hmm.
And then when she got famous, she went way out there. It happens.
Yeah.
Manny Pacquiao never changed. You never changed.
Yeah.
Some fighters don't. How did you stay grounded the whole time?
You know what? As you were saying that, I was thinking to myself, it's definitely you're a product of where you come from. You know what I mean? So I come from the humble roots of Northeast Ohio, Cleveland. You know what I mean? Where the coin phrase by LeBron. Shout out to him. In Northeast Ohio, nothing is given, everything is earned. And that's kind of how it was for me. So even though I was earning, it was like I never felt like things were supposed to just be given to me. I was earning everything, you know what I mean? So I think it starts there, but the other side of that too is you have to have the right people that you're either looking at or the right people are guiding you. Of course, my dad's right there guiding me, but I looked at guys like Marvin Hagler. I'm a big football player, so I looked at guys like Charles Woodson and, you know, kind of the list goes on, the Manning brothers, and we'll watch the way those guys would interview. We'll watch the way those guys presented themselves, and I kind of fixed up in my mind what a champion should look like and how a champion should present himself, and that's just how it was for me, and it will never change for me. You saw me, like, I don't give a damn. It's an hour, but these people, this is why they're here. So if you stand and you get pictures and autographs for an hour, you're doing what it takes. It's an hour for us. It's 3 days for them. It's a week for them. It's a month for them. For some of these people, it's a year. And for some of these people, they're handling these things down to their grandchildren and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I do whatever it takes, man. And I, at the other side of that, I do enjoy it. You know what I mean?
I do want to tell people some stuff that you don't know about Shawn Porter. When people ask me who is the best basketball player in boxing, I always say Shawn Porter and Adrian Broner. They could really, really play. So one time, Manny Pacquiao used to do a lot of pickup.
Yeah.
And you did so well, you did not get invited to come play again.
Yeah.
You did too good.
No, that's true. That's true. The chat's about to go crazy. Terrence Crawford really is, I think, the best basketball player, at least that I've played with. I played with Boo Boo way back in the day, and of course I played with Wilder way back in the day.
Adrian Broner, he got skill.
Adrian can shoot the ball. That boy can shoot it. And so can Terrence. Terrence can shoot. He can take you off the dribble and all that kind of stuff.
Earl Spence, have you ever played with him?
I played with Earl. Earl's a good athlete, and it shows up. Like, you can tell, like, he's got the basics and the fundamentals and all that kind of stuff. And the other side of that is you can tell he's an athlete. Like, he can take off with the rock, you know what I mean? But he's not gonna take you one-on-one and just get you, you know what I mean? So he'll pass the ball and then blow past you, get the ball back and lay it in. You know?
If we did a basketball tournament with Pacquiao, Mayweather, Shawn Porter, Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Manny Pacquiao, and give me one more. Like, who do you think? Chris Arreola plays a lot of basketball.
Okay.
How would you do against all those guys, basketball?
Like when you talking about like one-on-one situation, I would beat everybody except for I wouldn't beat Terrence. I haven't seen Adrian play in a long time, but I got a feeling like if he was on the court consistently for a week, he'd be hard to beat. But I could see myself beating everybody except for Terrence and Adrian Broner. I think AB, he's got a great shot from the outside.
Shout out to Adrian, you fought him, and now he's coming back for you, so you're gonna fight Figueroa.
I told somebody, they said he ain't fight, man. He ain't fight. I said, I don't know, man. The last time I saw him, he looked like he was getting ready for something. So he said they got something big for him. I believe him.
Shawn, what would you change in your career?
Nobody likes to lose. I definitely would change the way I fought Kell Brook. I wouldn't change much of how I fought Keith Thurman. I wouldn't change much of how I fought Errol Spence. And I would be meaner against Terrence Crawford. That's what I would change about my fight with Terrence.
That was a great fight.
I would be meaner than I was. In retrospect, I've analyzed that. That's one thing that was missing in that fight. I wasn't mean enough. You know, I've been mean in the past, and I wasn't mean in the moment where I really needed to be mean.
Is it hard for you to turn? Because you're such a nice guy. How do you turn on and be mean?
Nah, because it's always been, and I guess, you know, for the sake of words against Terrence, you know, even though I turned it on, I didn't match his intensity, and I regret that. When I fought Dennis Ugas, we weighed in, and he was teared up at the weigh-in. He was really intense at the weigh-in, and I remember like looking at him like damn, you want this? Like, you're not gonna get it, but I appreciate that. I turned it on against him, and I matched his intensity. I didn't match Terrence Crawford's intensity. I regret that.
And for you to be here now, from where you started, it's Hall of Fame. The fans love you. The superstars love you. You're getting Bernard Hopkins is down with you. You're getting. How does that feel, Shawn?
I love it, man. Y'all got any questions for Ellie here? Let me know in the chat. Right now, start sending you questions for Ellie, and I'll start looking for him. I'm excited, man. I'm happy to be here. Bernard, he saw me retire. He texted me if it wasn't the day after, maybe a couple of days after, and he said Hall of Fame is next. You know what I mean? So
that's amazing.
I'm humbled, man. I'm humbled to be where I am doing what I do. No surprises at all. I can humbly say that everything that I've done to this point it's all been strategical. It's all been planned, and it's all starting to come to fruition. So that's the part that makes me really humble, you know, just enough to continue to want to keep doing it.
One thing that gets me upset about boxing is when announcers criticize a fighter. They don't know what they're going through. They think they know. When you fought on ESPN way back when, I don't remember who it was, but whoever was on the air was not very complimentary.
Yeah, it was.
Was it Teddy Atlas?
Yeah, it was Teddy.
Did he ever apologize? Say, you know what, Shawn?
You know what? I saw Teddy, and I saw he actually invited me. You know, it was a funny thing. He wasn't very, very nice, and then that was at a point in time where I felt like I was being misunderstood as a fighter, and so I had like fixed in my mind that I'm gonna give Teddy a piece of my mind when I see him, and then somebody emailed me, a part of his team. We want you to come to the Teddy Atlas Classic in Staten Island. Shout out to Staten Island, and that like pulled me back. It was like wow, like Teddy wants me to be there.
Tension.
It diffused it just a little bit because I was like, all right, now I have an opportunity to kind of talk to him. Shook his hand, and he was just really generous to me, all these types of things. And I said to him, I said, you know, Teddy, it's not just me. A lot of us feel like you don't give us our just due on the telecast. And he says, you know what, champ, I do what I feel like I'm supposed to do as a analyzer. And if you feel like I haven't given you just due, I'm sorry, and I'll try to do better.
Okay.
And like I had like this script that I was gonna read, and like at that moment, like I like balled up the script and threw it away in my head, and I was like, that's enough for me. You know what I mean? I think that we as commentators and as boxing analysts, I'm not gonna speak on Teddy anymore, but what I think we should do is we should push the sport forward. We should be honest, give our honest opinions, but make it in a way that people understand what we're trying to tell them, in a way that we're not putting down the fighter, scrutinizing the fighter, not belittling the fighters and things of that nature. So I love the commentary, man. I love doing it, and I think I'm getting better with every time out. So
let's see if we have any questions, Shawn.
Yeah. Somebody asked if you had met Anthony Joshua.
Of course, yeah. Shout out to Joshua. Now Robert Garcia's with him. I wish him all the best.
How you think that's gonna work out?
Robert's very good of lighting a match on the fighter's behinds, and if he could light a match, I'd watch out because he's big, he's strong, he's a super nice guy, and Usyk's amazing. Usyk's one of the best pound for pound. But with Robert there, he has a way to communicate in a positive way to get you excited, to get you want to get the knockout.
There you go. I think if Anthony Joshua wins that fight, it has to be on the knockout.
Has to.
I don't think he outboxes.
No, he's not boxing anymore.
Yeah.
But he's a good dude. He's really a good person.
For sure. Rescue right here. RSCUE. Rescue. How was it that Ellie became the reporter to be most welcome to RGBA?
Robert had a nephew, rest in peace, named Pelos. And one day he invited me, and I never left. Okay, this is what I'll tell you a true story. Okay, so I come to the gym. I'm there for 2 days. And HBO came in, and they said, Robert, we're doing a 24/7. We want you to ban all cameras from your gym, including this guy.
Oh.
And Robert just met me 48 hours before. He took my picture, framed it, put it on the wall, told HBO it was his first time ever in a 24/7. He's a member. I'm not kicking him out. If you don't want to film me for your show, you don't have to.
Oh, wow.
That was a break of his lifetime. And they had to tolerate me for 6 weeks, and they didn't like it.
Yeah.
But
wow. He said tolerate because you be in it.
Yeah, but respect. Robert's a real good dude, and the whole team, and they just welcome me. And you've met them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Good people.
Yep.
Good sense of humor.
Yep.
And when COVID started, we did a fundraiser. Robert, Mikey, myself raised thousands of dollars for people to give them food cards and food stamps.
Wow.
And they never get credit for that. So I'm in New York for Tank's fight. This elderly lady and her son comes up to me and said, "We're one of the people that got the card. Thank you."
Oh, wow. Thank you for that, man.
We
all were hustling during that time, just doing the best we can.
You always get food to the homeless.
Yep.
People don't know about what you do, Shawn.
Man, listen, I went to a spot called shout out to Ant and shout out to Sean King, former NFL football player. We went out to lunch the other day, and we went to Lolo's. This is like a chicken and waffles place, and I ate like half the food, and I boxed it up, and I was intending to give some of it to my wife as well. And I'm driving, had somewhere to stop. homeless guy walking. I looked at my pot. I was like, he needed more than I do. You know what I mean? I ate. I'm good. I was like, so I gave him my food. You know,
that's amazing.
It kind of is what it has to be. You know,
but it's not for the cameras. It's not for Instagram. No, but I'm saying that it comes genuine. It comes from the heart. I
hadn't told Ant that yet, but Ant would have. Aside from us talking about the homeless right now, Ant would probably not even known that story. I do what needs to be done, especially in moments where I can do it. You know. Somebody asked if you're gonna be in UK. I gotta shout out his name. AI asked if you're gonna be in UK for the Joshua.
The fight's in Saudi August 20th or August 13th. But yes, I'm planning on being there, and I love the UK. Been there many times. Shout out to everyone in the UK.
Shout out to everybody.
They're
in
the
UK,
biggest boxing fans after the fans in Mexico.
Love it, man. Love the UK fans. Ellie, this is from Dusty Cole. Ellie, do you ever pinch yourself that you've gotten to be one of the most respected journalists in the game?
No, because when you live it, you don't appreciate it. I'll give you guys an example. I was around Kobe Bryant for 16 years, and it felt normal. Mm-hmm. I didn't think about, I'm talking to you, Shawn, I'm talking to Kobe. Yeah. It's Kobe. Yeah. Later on, you comprehend what you're going through, but when you're going through it, it's supposed to be like that.
Yeah. I saw Kobe at the 2008 Olympic Games in China, and I was hyped. I took a camera with me and everything because I wanted it all. And something I hardly ever do, even now, ask people to take pictures. It was Kobe, and I was like, yo, Kobe, can I take a picture with you? And the first time, I ain't gonna make no excuses. I was like, maybe I didn't say it loud enough because he didn't budge.
He heard you.
And so I said it again, and he said, yeah, man, come on, let me take this picture before you knock me out. And I felt put off. I felt kind of salty, you know what I mean, that he acted that way the first time we took the shot. But then once he saw that everybody was cool, you know, he started to loosen up. So I've heard that Kobe is kind of that, like, he's a hit or miss.
He was always on. Yeah. He was always intense. His own teammates used to ask me, what's his routine before games? That means when he retired, he turned it off and he was very chill. But he was always on game mode. Which boxer do you know is always on fight mode, 24/7, 365?
Terrence Crawford.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah. He's always like, I want to fight right now. So Kobe was like that, and that's why he was so great. Yeah. But he did take the picture, though.
Who are we talking about? The billionaire from Omaha. What's his name? Warren Buffett.
Yeah.
He told me this how on Terrence is all the time. I said, you met him before, right? He said, yeah. I said, he's come to your fights, right? He said, yeah. He said, man, he cool, man. We talked, man. He said, I put him in a headlock the first time we met. Like, that's Terrence. Like, he gonna put you in a headlock. That's just who he is.
I'm gonna ask you, what should I invest in? Can I give you some money? Yeah. But he's a very humble guy.
Gary Russell was always on too.
Gary
is a pretty intense dude, and he always stays on. And when he told me the story about him putting Warren in a headlock, I thought about Gary Russell, because that's something Gary would do. You know what I mean? Like, Gary is intense like that. Fun, always fun to be around, stuff like that. Terrence, you get to know him. He's definitely more pleasant than people give him credit for. But both those guys are great people.
I'm sure Mike Tyson was like that too. Shout out to Mike.
Yeah, shout out to Mike. What you got going on, man? Let's talk a little bit. What you got going on now?
Here for the Hall of Fame. Just was at the Tank fight. Excited to see what's next for him.
Did you stay out here, or did you go home and then come back?
I went home and came back.
Okay.
I got a baby now. It's different. You have kids.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I have a son.
Is it all right to talk about that?
Yeah, of course. He's a year and 6 months.
Oh, what?
He's really
right behind mine. My little dude, shout out to Adonai. He'll be 2 in next month.
It means God in Hebrew.
Yeah.
My son's name is Ari Nathan. Ari's a lion. Nathan is a gift from God.
Oh yeah.
But great kid, always smiling. Nice. He's very attached when he sees me. He's very athletic already.
Yeah. Is it everything you thought it would be?
It's much more work than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I thought that I could hold him and work. No.
Yeah.
You have to be with him. The phones go away. The computer's off. I do my calls at 3 in the morning. You know.
My house is always open to my fam and my people. They already know that, so on and so forth. When we brought my first son home, my people was at the house every day. Because I was still exciting. Just thought I was just living, just nothing's changed. And then one day, all my guys were over. We're playing cards and all that kind of stuff. And I had to attend to my son. And in that moment, like, I thought to myself, this was a couple months had gone by, like 2 or 3 months had gone by. I said, wait a minute, like, something's wrong here. Like, they're not all supposed to be around. I got a job to do. And that's when I realized, like, this is a job. There's a little bit more that goes into it than just bringing them in here safely. You know what I mean? So, congratulations, man.
Yeah, so that's
Ari Nathan.
Ari Nathan, that's a lot of work.
Is his last name Sekback?
Yeah.
Hey, you don't want him to change it or anything? Sekback, that's what you going to stick with?
We're sticking with it for now.
All right,
Although Nate Diaz told me to change my YouTube channel from ES News to reporting.
Just to report.
Like, nah, we're good.
ES reporting.
Yeah, so been busy.
Congratulations, man. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a lot of work, as you know.
Yep.
And then just boxing's been back to back to back ever since April.
It's been big, man.
We haven't had a break, and we're not going to have a break till August, October.
This is what I hope happens. I hope that it's been so big that people just hear that boxing's on and they start to tune in.
It's working.
Because even the big names that aren't fighting, the fights are still good. You know what I mean? Like last night was good. The Showbox, I think. Was it Showbox last night?
Yeah, Showbox.
Showbox was good last night.
So,
and I hate for people to miss it just because the names aren't there.
So a couple of things, Sean. So first of all, we have a lot of influencers in boxing now, and they're blowing up.
Yeah.
You have Nick Young, the Laker player, is about to fight Blueface, the rapper.
Okay.
Nick Young,
I know Nick. I don't know Blue Nose.
Not Blue Nose, Blueface.
Blueface.
He's really cool, really good boxer
bad,
too.
Blueface.
Blueface. Then you have Ryan Garcia, July 16. That's a big one.
Right. That's in LA, right?
That's in LA. I heard Canelo's next fight might be in LA. There's
September.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
And then it's been a blessing to cover boxing because right now it's a really hot sport.
Sure.
So stay tuned. Thanks so much for having me. Absolutely. When is this podcast going to be on Netflix or Showtime or HBO or ESPN or The Zone?
We're taking it one step at a time, man. I think to this point everything is going according to plan, and I'm a very patient person. I don't believe in making moves that you're not supposed to before you're supposed to make them. So with that being said, I think that's a long way of saying I don't know, but we'll get there eventually.
Let me tell you what's going to happen. One day, maybe in a month, maybe in a week, maybe in 6 months, you're going to get an offer, and if it makes sense, you're going to take it. Because there's no real boxing podcast right now. Yeah. Except yours.
Shout out to Blue Wire Studios. They got us in there now over at the Wynn Hotel and Casino. That deal made sense, and that's the first of hopefully very many for the podcast. I don't expect this thing to stop anytime soon. So,
what's the hardest part of doing this? Is it booking the guest? Is it?
Nah, you know what? It's funny. Like we got 232 people on here right now.
Shout out to everybody that's on.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that's on.
Shout out to Larry
now.
Wade, one of my favorite people in boxing. Yeah. You know him very well.
Yeah, he's got a podcast coming, Wading Through the BS.
Okay.
It's his podcast. It's coming soon. The hardest part is just making sure you do stuff that you can't please everybody. And it's funny, like with this very last episode, it's like everybody took a shot at us. Like at everybody on the podcast got one person took a shot at each of us on the podcast. It's hard to please everybody, and so where I want to have the who's of football, NBA, rap, and the list goes on, we'll get them. But right now what I'm seeing is that the podcast is a boxing podcast. We don't want anything else but boxing. So for me, the hardest thing is staying in this box. I don't want to be in the box of being just a boxing podcast. No, you're going to grow organically because a lot of other athletes and celebrities are huge fans of yours. Yeah. And they'll come because you're a fan. Shout out to LaShawn McCoy. Yep. He just Eagles. Yeah, he just messaged me on Twitter like, yo, I didn't like what Ellerby said on the podcast. I'm like, yo, come on and talk about it. You know what he'll do it. He's a big boxing fan. You're right. They'll all get on. But Sean, in 1 week, I had one Hall of Famer tell me that I kiss ass too much, and one Hall of Famer tells me that I'm too negative or aggressive. You can't have it both ways. Listen, we got the best people on the podcast. None of us give a damn about the negativity that comes at us. You know what I mean? So, but it's part of. You're doing a good job if both sides are mad at you. Thank you. But keep it up. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure. We'll be back again. See you later. We'll bring some friends. Ellie Sekback reporting. There you go. Y'all take a look. Keep up the good work. ESnews.com. Just ES News anywhere. Just Google it. Like the gangsters say, Google me. Google. You hanging with the gangsters, huh? I hang with everybody. Yeah, he does. Hold on, we'll take a picture if you don't mind, Sean. Ellie is the best, man. Thank you for everything, Ellie. Nah, we do it labor of love. Yeah. Hold on, once I look this way. Thank you, guys. See you later, Ellie. Tell everybody thank you. You got it. So that's ES News. Say again? No, we're good. We're still rolling. Yep. Thank you. Who's this guy? keep put the camera on him. It's gonna move too slow. Don't worry about it. This guy's out here with a Mysterio mask on and his bodysuit with the United States flag on his back. Got the United States gloves on, all that good stuff. So I have a line here of people that want a picture and or autograph of me, and it's just not fair. This is what I said. I said if I do it all on Friday, then I'm good. I'll be good the rest of the week because I got everybody, and they just keep coming. You guys got to get to the International Boxing Hall of Fame out here in Canastota, New York. It's amazing to be around all of these fighters. It's amazing to get close to all of us and just, share some time with us. You get to hear everybody speak. If you buy the tickets, you get dinners to go to, the 5K run this morning. I mean, it's a whole list of things that we are a part of. They're still doing an autograph signing down the street at Canastota High School. Anybody that's watching right now that want to get to something, you can go down there and get some autographs done. It's a big event. It's a long weekend, but it's all well worth it. And if you've not had a chance to get here to the International Boxing Hall of Fame, try to get here, man. It's special. I'm good, man. How you? I ran with this dude earlier. Yeah. And we had a hard time finishing, but we did. And when I finished, man, I couldn't stand up for a second. I had to, my legs was tight. What's up, everybody? The 217 that's staying tuned. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Tell a friend, tell a family member, anybody that loves boxing, tell them to jump on the Porterweight podcast. We're live right now, and just waiting on some other important people to walk by or be given to us so that we can get them on the podcast. Terrence Crawford has left. We was kicking it yesterday, so no biggie. Laila Ali is still here, but I know she's doing a lot of autographing right now. Pictures. Jack Reese. Huh? No. Not really. I guess we could just have him walk up, huh? I say, yep. I'm not gonna front you got it, man. Thank you. I did this for 2 hours today, so yeah, no, come on. Yep, just one at a time though. Yep, thank you. So when I'm done with the podcast, I'm done for the day. So I'm gonna try to get as many in right now until we get a guest or until we get something else going on. Huh? I'm okay, thank you.
Nice to see you and your dad at Wildcard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Awesome. Good to see you, man.
Thank you. Can we get the stage or anything like that? Show these people what's going on. I know they I don't want to sit here and watch him sign autographs. Here you go.
Yeah, I got you. Thank you so much.
There you go. Thank you. Any questions, let me know. Hey, Champ, you think you can get Miguel Cotto over? Where's Miguel? So the last time I saw Miguel, let's see, it's 2 o'clock now. He was over at the autograph signing. I've heard he's basically only doing what they're telling him he has to do. But other than that, he's kind of staying to himself. Understandable. Respect it. It's an all-day process if you allow it to be. It does not stop. So I don't know if we'll get Cotto. My bet is no. I actually would love to get Juan Manuel because we ran today and then we had a pretty decent chat earlier and I told him about the podcast and he said that he would do it. So what's up, my man? Doing well. This side of it?
Yeah, just the back.
Got you, sir. Thank you.
Really looking forward to seeing you and Floyd out this weekend. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, man. He said he was really looking forward to seeing me this weekend. That's love. Thank you. I didn't eat today, so let's talk about that. Somebody said, "Oh, it's Shawn Porter, Mac 10. Oh, it's Shawn Porter." Oh. I won't be able to. Let's see what else we got. Juan be good to get. He speaks English, and so of course that definitely pushed me to want to get him on the podcast. My Spanish is not very good, and I was elated to see. He said that he's been taking English classes, which is very cool. And he basically said, "Man, I'm just trying to expand," and I appreciate that. So hopefully we can get him on. Sean Gibbons has just shown up. Carson, I'll be sure to tell Sean you said hello. What up, dude? Where you want? Gotcha. There you go. Yes, sir. Nice to meet you. Let's see what we got. Yo, Sean, can you get Holly home? I want to get Holly home. I want to hear if she's going to come to the ring and box again. She told me yesterday or the day before. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, Sean. How are you?
Good to meet you.
Can we get a picture?
Yeah.
A couple of years ago when you and your father were here.
Nice to meet you.
A picture of you guys.
Okay.
We did the fist cast.
Well, then good to see you again.
So your father asked me for a copy of the picture.
Oh.
It was you and him.
You have it?
Still has it.
Do you?
I have it with me. I gave it to him.
Oh, back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
printed it, gave it to him.
Hopefully he does still have that, huh? Yeah. Good to see you again.
Yes, you too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you. Holly Holm told me that she still has a fight left on her contract with UFC, and she wants to get back in the boxing ring again. So we'll see what happens. Says she still got a desire to fight. I said, all right. Talk about the cars tonight. Do you want it up here?
Any place you want.
Okay. See, that's the other part. That's the other reason for having a good team. They come up where I fall short. Thank you. I know that Edgar Berlanga is fighting again tonight. I don't know the guy's name offhand that he's fighting. That is actually the only fight that I am aware of tonight. Of course, as you guys can see, I've been busy. No excuses. But basically, what I'm gonna do is do the best I can to watch all of the boxing once all this is done. That way we can be ready to do the episode. Still got to figure out where we're doing the episode. I don't know yet, fellas. Sorry. But all that being said, I think that this fight that Edgar Berlanga is about to be in is about to be somewhat of a war. If he can catch this dude in exchange, of course we know what Edgar Berlanga can do with his power. I don't know if that exchange is going to come. And this guy is unorthodox. This guy's got some power. He's been in the ring with some guys. So I think that intimidation factor is not there for Berlanga, which is going to make the fight a little harder for him. And, if anything, we can say this is that. Here you go, sir. Thank you. If anything, we can say this is that fight that is kind of like that show up, put up or what is it? Put up or shut up. This is that put up or shut up fight for Edgar Berlanga. Who else is fighting tonight, y'all? Thank you. Anyway, on there, that one went the way Carson expected. Went fast. Who's winning the NBA Finals? I don't know. I'm big. You want big? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I haven't watched much of the games. Been pretty busy. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon. It's documented. You can watch. You can look at it. I've been saying that I want the Celtics to win. They on the East. Thank you, sir. And I think they'll win it. And it's showing up right now. I think it's now the series is it's 2-1. I think I don't even know what the series is now. Still 2-1. Yeah. They didn't play last night. They played last night. I thought.
I love it. Thanks, Sean.
You got it. Thank you.
How you doing, champ?
Munguia and Kelly is tonight.
What's up?
Kelly.
Came to our
Who
gym
Kelly?
about 8 months ago. I know you
Huh?
you came to our gym about 8 months ago.
Oh, you said, oh, you don't remember that.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I missed you that day. You were
hate
at
signing
Ortiz
belts.
boxing gym.
Yeah.
Wherever you want to sign it.
Right here.
Appreciate it, champ.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
Hold on a second, fellas. People, not fellas, but people. I'm about to actually make a move to. It's tied right now, huh? 2-2. Yeah. I'm about to make a move to see if I can get Laila Ali to come over here. So, let me see if I can get. Nope. Nope. Let me see if I can get an update on where she's at and if she's gonna come over here. How long we been on? Okay. Good, sir. How are you? Sure. Thank you. Thank you. What up, my dude? No answer on my connection. I'll call Ed. Oh, let me see it. Here you go. Thank you. Uh-huh. How you doing, sir?
Back. And Showtime.
Yes, sir. Hey, Ed. You busy? Hello. Yes, ma'am. Here you go. Oh. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Who's that from? No. Oh, you did that? Okay. Okay. Definitely. I hope y'all are appreciating the stream today. Shout out to, first of all, DDA. Shout out to DDA, the producer, for hooking us up, making sure we get right and we stay right. He went out and got the Verizon 5G. We streaming. Is the streaming strong? Streaming is strong. Y'all can thank DDA and also thank Verizon for that. Y'all need some good streaming. Go to Verizon 5G. They got it. Want to hold it for me? Yeah, thank you.
Retired for good? Or?
I'm retired for good. There you go.
Appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Cool. So now we got Ed Brophy coming over here pretty soon. He is he'll give you his official label. But yes, sir, thank you. He's the organizer of everything. He's on his way right now. And he's the one that has been putting this together from day one. We'll talk to him a little bit about the Hall of Fame and all that good stuff. Somebody asked yesterday who votes for the Hall of Famers to be inducted. That is a question for Mr. Ed Brophy. We are about to find out the answer to that. Yes, sir. Thank you.
You told me you weren't going to run. You ran in there.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to come, but I didn't want to let everyone down. So, yeah. I'm my own worst enemy. See you later.
How's it going, man?
Doing well, sir.
Good.
You here for a minute, right? I got Ed coming in, and then I'm gonna have you come in for a second. Okay. Both of them?
Yeah. This is my cousin.
Got you. Thank you, sir.
You want to keep it?
You need it.
Oh, I got plenty.
Okay. You got a tool belt
You know what?
of supplies.
It's easier when you guys need stuff.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
That's
try
sweet.
to be helpful, then each person will
You know how it's done. Thanks, man.
I try.
Have fun this weekend, all right?
I will. Thank you.
See you later. You walking around with a belt. With a bell?
Pain in the ass, man, but gotta make it count, man. Thanks a lot, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thanks for giving me some of the best action fights in the past 10 years.
Thank you, man. He said some of the best action fights in the last 10 years. Jimmy Kelly. I don't know Jimmy Kelly. Doing well. How are you?
No autograph. Just want to let you know that you had some of the biggest balls in boxing that there is.
Yeah.
You had the perfect style to beat Mayweather in your prime.
I actually talked about that a little bit this morning. Yeah. Yeah.
Great man.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. Appreciate the kindness. Thank you.
Listen, you just got the biggest smile on your face. I feel like you love this.
Why not?
You love the fans.
Yeah.
You love the people. I love it.
So I did an interview earlier.
Yeah.
And I did an interview and the guy asked, he said, this or that, or would you rather?
Yeah.
Would you rather gain 100 pounds or never do the thing you love to do the most? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, you know what? What I'm doing right now is one of my favorite things to do in the world. I said I'd rather gain 100 pounds and just deal with it.
The appreciation you get from the fans because of this, and
Yeah.
you show this personally,
Yeah.
it's going to carry the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Thank you,
I
man.
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. You got it. Thank
Can I
you.
get that marker though?
All right.
Have a good day.
Later.
Oh, Mr. Porter,
How you doing, sir?
anywhere on this page?
Who else you got in here?
I got everybody. Ray Arcel. I got them all.
Who you got in there?
I got Ray Arcel. I got Don Fulmer. I have Jane Fulmer, Greg Hogan, Shane Mosley, Misty Martin, Michael Spinks, Leon Spinks, Eddie Futch, Greg Hogan, Sergio Martinez, Tony TNT Tubbs, Butch Lewis, Curtis Cokes, Joe Cortez, George Benton, Simon Brown, and so
You got
much
them
more.
all. You got them all. How many years is this for you at the Hall of Fame?
This is coming here is about my 30.
30th year.
My first autograph in this book was in 85. This didn't open up until 89.
Wow.
So I've been collecting purposely.
I'm honored to be in it.
Well, I'm honored to have you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, sir.
Likewise.
30 years here coming to the Hall of Fame, and wow, that's quite a bit, man.
Cross that guy, let him throw when you're done with that. What's that?
Yeah, so it's fun, man. Y'all got to come out here. It's nothing but love. Everybody sharing everything. You take a picture for the person ahead of you, and then the person behind you take a picture for you. It's love, man, and it's the real deal, man. This is the International Boxing Hall of Fame, and there's a lot of greatness out here. Yes, sir. Thank you. Here, you want your
Your pad, your markers. Hey, your pad.
sir? Young sir?
Hey.
Here you go. My pleasure. I think I signed that already.
No.
Oh, you would know, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. All the way from St. Louis and Devin Alexander country.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. You're
Yes,
always
sir.
great here.
Thank you.
Last time when you trained here. So.
Yeah.
Did
Good.
you run today?
Yeah, I did. I'm still sweating.
Did you win again?
No. I didn't win the first time. They just made that up.
Oh,
No.
you were
No, I wasn't. That they were.
Okay.
Yeah. Good to see you, man. Thank you.
Mr. Shawn Porter.
What's up, sir?
How you
Thank you,
doing,
man.
man?
Good to meet you.
We got something in common.
What's that?
My name is Kenny. I know your father's name.
Okay. Yeah.
Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday, sir. 57. Okay. I ain't gonna air my dad's age, but you know, you might be give or take. Close to, give or take. Uh-oh. My dad do the same thing. My dad still be out with the tank tops on. I worked out today. What'd you do today? Dad, you know what I did, Dad. I didn't go to the gym. That's cheap now. All right now. Everybody asking, where your dad at? Where your dad at? Sure. Thank you. Thank you. Ed Brophy has not shown up yet. Obviously he's working. So I think we're gonna cap this today at an hour. I see Lou right there. See if we can get Lou DeBello over here for a second. Kenny Baelish. Kenny with the classic school 5th grade cursive right there. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good to meet you. Thank you.
Shawn, I'm Corey. I've seen you
Nice
like
shirt, man.
twice in person.
Nice.
Out in Vegas.
Yes, sir.
DC.
Sweet.
Saw you knock Paulie out of the ring actually in DC.
Only reason to be in DC that weekend.
It was. Thank you very much.
Good to meet you, sir.
Ohio boys.
Yes, sir.
Sorry, did you take a picture? Sean, can I get a picture?
Sure.
Thank you very much, sir.
Uh-oh.
Fighter's reflexes.
Yeah, okay. I see you. Thank you, sir. Thanks for catching it. We don't have to sue you.
It's only right since I'm
Yeah.
the one that knocked it over, right?
You're laughing like I wouldn't sue him for that.
Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
And Lou! Yeah, I'm gonna have to call him.
What's going on, champ?
He's going the wrong way. Yep. Gotcha. Boom, boom.
Can I get black on that one?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it, brother. That's all you. And you've been the best signer here this weekend. Some of your colleagues.
My signature is one of a kind.
Listen, I appreciate it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend, champ.
Yes, sir. You too, man. Thank you. Hey, Jeff. I saw Lou go that way. Can you get Lou for me? Yeah, and then also remind Ed that he was supposed to come over. Thank you. What's up, fellas? Take some of that bass out your voice. Come on now. Take some of that bass out your voice. That's what's up. That's what we doing right now. Here's the podcast right now.
Great podcast.
Thank you, man.
I literally tune in every Tuesday.
Who you like the most on the podcast?
I like when I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I talk to my buddy who also watches, I'm always like, the two Shawns are the best. You and Zittel.
Well, we're supposed to be the best. But, you know, everybody like us for everything else. So, yeah. 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 My pleasure.
Showtime.
Sir,
What's up, champ?
how you doing?
Good, my bro. Good to meet you, champ.
Thank you, man.
How you been, brother?
And good. Boy, that's the one right there.
Thank you, champion. I'm having my boy draw something on it.
What's up? Oh, yeah. That'll be smooth. What's up, Marcos?
Where you stand at? Oh, well.
Yeah. We're talking a bit, though.
What's up, Sean? You guys doing the podcast?
Yeah, right. What's up? Yeah, we on right now. Yeah, we on right now. Huh? Yeah, man. It's hard tying down everybody. Everybody's here. Everybody wants to do the podcast, but it's so many pictures, autographs, be here, be there. So it's been hard to tie everybody down. You know what I mean? We had Brenagh Hopkins on earlier, and we had Ellie Sett back on earlier. So yeah. Lou DeBella's running around here, and trying to get him. Is Layla still here? She's still over there doing pictures and autographs, though, ain't she? Yeah. So. All right, we trying to hang in there, man. We almost at 2, right? It's 2:36. Okay. All right. Yeah. Oh, my fault. Yes, sir. All right. So here's my guarantee to y'all. I don't got no single no more. My guarantee to y'all is I'm guaranteeing we're gonna get Lou DeBella. We're gonna get Ed Brophy, who's coming here right now. Let's get Ed on real quick. And I'm guaranteeing y'all we get Laila Ali. I said it. What's up, Ed?
Oh, it's great to be here.
Put this on.
I think we all got Laila on now.
Just so you look professional.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Going good. It's been a great weekend.
Is it turning out the way you expected it to?
Oh, fantastic. Just
Good.
to see everybody again and all the excitement of the fans. They all got boxing in their blood. And, of course, the champions like yourself and new inductees. It's wonderful.
Yeah. Did everybody show up? Did you expect to show up?
Well, obviously, Vladimir Klitschko was unable to make it because of the war. But we got everybody else here. And everybody's so excited, and they're ready to get their Hall of Fame rings tomorrow and deliver their induction speech.
Yeah. About that induction speech, how's that going to work?
Well, it's of course we call it a trilogy because it's 3 classes.
Yeah.
And it's going to go much longer than a normal one. But obviously, all the speeches are going to be wonderful. So it's going to be a long one, but it's going to be a wonderful one and so meaningful to.
Is it going to be right here?
No, because of the length of the time frame, and because of weather conditions with a large crowd of media we converted it from the Hall of Fame grounds to the Trinity Stone Event Center.
Oh, yeah.
So that way we're protected 100% for all of the international media and all of the fans. And so we're very fortunate to have that facility only 10 minutes from the Hall of Fame.
Very good. Looks like Laila is leaving. I missed her. I'm sorry. I guarantee she be on. My bad. But let's get back to Ed. Ed, somebody asked how do you determine who's going into the Hall of Fame? How's that judging? Or whatever?
There's a international panel of historians. Boxing's international, so of course all the different countries we have different historians that help do research and look at names who might become eligible or names that already been eligible, and consider and giving suggestions and working with the Hall of Fame of a pool of names to be looked at, and then it's more determined by a committee. And then ballots are put together in October, and they go out to all the boxing writers around the world, and they need to be back by the end of December. Then a CPA firm tallies all the votes and gives the Hall of Fame report. The Hall of Fame holds a press conference in December to announce the great news, but it's a long process. It begins in August, and those who make it in the Hall of Fame are so overwhelmed and excited. And then, of course, the big celebration in June every year.
Yeah, of course. Has that always been the process?
It's always been the process. It works well. We have different categories from not just the modern men, but, of course, old-timers. We have the pioneers. We have the non-participants, meaning promoters, managers, trainers, referees, cutmen, and now, of course, this is a historic year because it's the first 3 classes of the female boxers going into the Hall of Fame. There is now the Hall of Fame law, the female boxers receiving the Hall of Fame ring like everybody else over the history, and delivering their speech. And so, female boxing goes way back, but it was more in the last 30 years. It really rose to the top internationally, and it was time the Boxing Hall of Fame felt to have that category, the female boxing category, just as equal to any other Hall of Famer going into the Hall of Fame. So this is a historic year with the 3 classes going in.
Very good. people have asked, why is the Boxing Hall of Fame in Canastota, New York?
Yeah, well, that question gets asked a lot. And we have a nice welcome into the museum. The first exhibit kind of explains it all. And really, boxing history goes back over 100 years in the village of Canastota, back to the bare knuckle days through our small little village of only 5,000 people. And we had high school boxing teams in the 30s and 40s. And then in the 1950s, Carmen Basilio was a welterweight, middleweight champion of the world. He had a great fight, and Fight of the Year with Sugar Ray Robinson in Yankee Stadium in 1957 to win the middleweight championship. That put boxing, Canastota on the boxing map. Then we continued to have amateurs and pros. And we had another world champion in 1970, Billy Backus. So Canastota is a boxing town and understands it, and really wanted to show its appreciation to the sport.
Yeah.
And in the mid-'80s, the village said boxing needs a Hall of Fame. Every other sport has it.
Yeah.
Boxing deserves it. So a group of community enthusiasts came together and said, let's try to do our best and get volunteers together. Let's create some excitement of raising some dollars. And after 5 years, a Hall of Fame museum was built. The ribbon was cut by Floyd Patterson, Kid Gavlin, Joe Frazier, and so many others. And
were you a part of that committee?
I was involved. I was born and raised in the village of Canastota, so I was always around boxing
Yeah.
in town, and we all talked boxing. And so I was among the ones that were the community enthusiasts trying to make something great happen for the sport of boxing. And it's been a great project, and boxing deserves it. And the volunteers do a great job every year working on the event and working on throughout the year, helping. And so many people have donated artifacts for the museum, the fighters themselves or family members. And it's a not-for-profit organization. It raises money through donations, fundraisers, and corporate sponsors. So always looking for people to help out the Hall of Fame in any way they can.
Yeah. People have been asking, how can they see the induction ceremony, which is gonna happen tomorrow? It's going to start tomorrow afternoon. I don't want to put any heat on you right now, but I was obviously hoping the podcast could stream that. But I know that you already have it.
It's going to be on the Boxing Hall of Fame YouTube, and
can you tell everybody what the Boxing Hall of Fame YouTube is?
Yeah, and
what is it?
I'm gonna get to that in a few here, but it's going to be on, and I'll get the information for you, the exact details of that. But it'll be on. We're just finalizing it now with a production team and all that, so we're excited about that. But I'll get together with you soon, the exact YouTube information.
Okay, perfect. So you guys can tune into the Hall of Fame induction ceremony, which is going to be lengthy.
Yeah,
exciting. Yeah, you know what? Actually, it will be. It should be exciting from beginning to end, because we got a lot of special athletes going in this year, boxers going in this year from 2020, 21, and also 22. Ed, thank you for your time.
Yes.
I don't think I missed anything in terms of kind of keep catching people up who may not be completely aware of what the International Boxing Hall of Fame is. And of course, on behalf of boxing fans, boxing enthusiasts, the fighters, the list goes on. We want to thank you for everything you.
Well, it's always great having you here, of course, and a great
fun.
Champion and a future Hall of Famer you are. What a career you've had.
Thank you.
And so great to have you. You're always so great with the fans, and what a great representative of boxing, and also as a broadcaster.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got it all. So your career continues in boxing for sure.
I'm doing all right.
You might make it in as a fighter and a broadcaster along the way.
I tell you what, this is the last thing I'm going to say. I'll let you go. When you called and asked me if I would come, you said, you're going to be in a future Hall of Famer yourself. And I said, oh my God, I don't know if he realized what he just said, but you're not actually the one that makes that decision. So I don't think it matters anymore.
That's right. The Hall of Fame moves the process along, but we don't personally vote. It's done by the international panel. And of course, we wish you good luck down the road when that time comes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, I guess maybe last thing for anyone, how many years, qualifications, all those types of things for the Hall of Fame?
Good
I think
question.
last thing.
Yeah, good question. It typically was always a 5-year retirement, but a few years back we made it as a 3-year retirement, because in today's time, doing research on fighters, it's so easy to determine if they're a Hall of Famer or not. No need to wait 5 years. And Basketball Hall of Fame went from a 5 to a 3. Hockey Hall of Fame has been 3, and many others. So we were at 5, like baseball and football, but we changed ours a few years back to 3 years, and it really works out well, because a great Hall of Famer usually reaches that peak and still fights for a few years. Then if he has to wait 5 more years, it's a lengthy time. And so 3 years is appropriate, and we're so glad that we did it. It really fits the scenario of where it should be when somebody gets honored.
Perfect. Well, thank you for your time, everybody. This is Ed Brophy. What is your label for the podcast, or excuse me, the podcast, the Hall of Fame?
I'm the executive director of the
executive director of the International Boxing Hall of Fame. Everybody, Ed Brophy.
Yeah, and we'll get back to you soon on that YouTube, what channel we're going to be using,
Perfect.
and so you can announce that before the day's up.
Of course. Thank you.
Sounds good. Always great to
soon.
be with you.
You know it. Thank you. Everybody, this is Ed Brophy, executive director. Thanks, Ed. Has definitely done the best he could to accommodate me. There's Paulie. Hey, come over real quick, Paulie. Carson, I got Paulie. Carson, you got a question, Paulie? You got a question, bro? What's up, boss? You want to come on real quick? Come on real quick. I don't know the women boxers. I'm sorry.
You got one right here.
I'm sorry. Okay. Well, shoot, I got you next. All right, so they pouring in now apparently. What up, Paulie?
What's up?
Magic
What's up,
Man?
Jim? How you doing?
What's going on?
Nothing. I just made my way over here, man.
You just did a bare knuckle fight, right?
Yeah, that was 3 years ago. 3 years.
No. You've done something recently though, right?
No. I commentate with them now.
What did you just do? You didn't just do something recently?
No, I you know what I did? I did turn down an exhibition with Dan Hardy.
Oh, okay.
They offered me something,
maybe that's what it was.
I wasn't. Hatton's doing it with Barrera, and they offered me the co-feature on that.
How you like commentating?
It's good. You know how it is, man. Oh,
yeah.
commentating.
I haven't watched it.
Oh, but bare knuckle commentating, I don't know, man. The technique is still analyzable the way boxing is, you know, because you still set the same kind of traps and whatnot, you know.
Are you done with the ring?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yeah, why not, huh?
I mean, I just, like I said, they offered me something on the Hatton Barrera card, some exhibition, because Hatton Barrera were doing the exhibition in England. Yeah. They offered me the co-main event with ex-UFC fighter Dan Hardy, but it's just, I don't know, man. I find it harder to get back in shape. I find it harder to stay awake, not get injured, and when I'm training. So
part of the age,
man. And you know, you're trying to hold on to all the analyst gigs that you get, right?
Yeah.
So it would take me away from those, so I just decided it wasn't worth it, you know. So.
I heard you got something now, or is it just yourself? But I heard you were doing something with Roy and also with Tarver.
Yeah, with Pro Box TV, we're doing something with Roy Antonio in English, and also the Spanish shit with Juan Manuel Marquez as well.
Okay.
So we got something going on there at Pro Box TV. I also do Paulie TV, which is my channel.
Nice.
It's on YouTube. You know how that goes.
Is it Paulie.tv?
Paulie.tv on YouTube, yeah.
Paulie.tv on YouTube, everybody. And then the other one is?
The other one is Pro Box TV.
Pro Box TV.
On YouTube.
Yeah. Are they podcasts?
We have a podcast in English with me, Antonio, and Roy, and then we have one in Spanish with me and Juan Manuel.
When did you guys start that one?
We started recently, maybe in the past month or so.
Okay.
We started that.
Okay.
But there's also a channel that for $1.99 a month. We basically gonna give you boxing content, boxing cards. We had a show last month with Jean Pascal for Mang Fan Long.
Okay.
This month we have Gonzalez versus Barriga, which is a WBO world title fight, 105 pounds. You know, it's not a championship boxing channel, but it's basically we're trying to make it something similar to the old Friday Night Fights, where we have all things boxing discussions and maybe some decent cards on the shows as well. So we have that for $1.99 a month, which, you know, in comparison to the bigger channels, is kind of affordable.
I would love to invite if possible.
Yeah, man. When we start taking live guests, man, definitely. I mean, you're always a good chat. Right now, we've just started, so we don't have the live guests. We just kind of go on talking points. But I think once the channels grow,
y'all got any questions for Paulie? Let me know. We're live right now. We got 232 on right now.
Oh, nice.
Any questions for Paulie? Let us know.
How's
I'm starting now. Start now.
How is it over here for you guys?
It's great, man.
When did you get in?
I got in Thursday, and then we started working the podcast yesterday.
Okay. Smart, man.
No, I wouldn't say big guest, but we had Smitty come on yesterday.
Yeah,
James Smith.
Smitty's always a good chat.
Smitty's always a good chat. Yeah, we had Bernard come on at the beginning of today's show.
Bernard's always a chat too.
Bernard
sets the records. I got a story about Bernard. I remember with Bernard one time. We had a fighter meeting when he was fighting on Showtime. And we had, you know, the fighter meetings, you know how those goes. You've been part of those, you know, and so on both sides you've been. So
let them know real quick. So the fighter meeting, you come in, and I hate this part. The fighters come in the morning. They talk to all of the commentators
before the weigh-in
about what they expect to do in the fight and all that kind of stuff. That I hate is when the fighters want to protect their game plan and all that. It's like, this is for us to say once you're in the ring. You know what I mean? But basically when you hear us say, yeah, he told me this or he expects to do that, it's because of the fighter meetings.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
You had Bernard come in.
So we had Bernard one time, and usually they last about 15, 20 minutes. You know how it goes, and you ask a few questions, and the guys respond to their take on some things, and then you just kind of move on. They go, and then another fighter who's going to be on the televised portion of the card will come in. It lasts a few hours altogether. Bernard set the record, though. Bernard, it was a time Morrow asked Bernard, was at Showtime. Morrow asked Bernard one question. Bernard answered it for 45 minutes straight.
Oh, my Lord.
There was no other questions. There was just Bernard talking for 45 minutes straight. I remember Nazim,
and then you guys looked at each other and said, yeah, we're good?
No, I mean, we just, he's engaging, so we just heard him. And I remember Nazim Richardson was next to him. He fell asleep. And Bernard sort of moved it over to, he was talking about everything. He ended up going to, somehow his response wound up becoming old boxing and Charlie Burley. And he started talking about Charlie Burley, and Nazim was right here, and Bernard's talking, and he moves into Charlie Burley, and he's like, Charlie Burley, this and that. Right, Nazim knows about Charlie Burley, and Nazim was sleeping, and Nazim just goes, in the dead of sleep, he just goes, Charlie Burley was a bad motherfucker. And he goes back to sleep. I was like, unforgettable. Yeah. Officially unforgettable.
Wow. I miss that man. Yeah. That scene was a great man.
He was a good boxing mind. I'll tell you.
Sir.
And he was a good guy to talk to.
I always
and he always cared about all the young guys, like all the guys that he saw us coming up.
Yeah.
He was a really caring guy in that way. He remembered stories about me that I had forgotten, and then he would say, like, I remember this and this about you. And I'm like, oh man, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yep. He was a really engaging guy.
Big I've always been a big Andre Ward fan, but I had the opportunity to be in camp with Nazim when he was training actually Shane Jr. And we spent hours talking about Ward because he had all of these stories from when Ward was 8 and 10 and 12.
And that's the kind of priceless things. Priceless things that fans are clueless about, that could hear a guy like that talking. You kind of, and the shame is when guys like that go, the stories go with them. A lot of ways. It's kind of a shame. There's a treasure trove of great stories from the old timers.
I read this one from Repro man. He said, Paulie, love Boxing Talk TV. You think you guys can do a show on corrupt boxing judges and regulating the sport?
The unfixable problem. On you. Yeah. The unfixable problem in boxing. I mean, we could always talk about it, but it doesn't mean it's going to get solved. Nobody ever listens to the solutions, regardless. There's a lot. It's a lot more. It's a lot more layers. There's a lot more layers to solving that problem than it's just replace them. Yeah. It's a lot more layers. It's a multi-layered problem, and it's hard to get into.
Yep. Jay Sharp, he said basically your thoughts on Devin Haney.
Devin is the undisputed champion. I mean, he's done a phenomenal job now. I was one of those guys that I was one of those guys that was with Kambosos as far as being the undisputed champion. I thought he took the belt from the man. Lopez, who took the belt from the man, was Lomachenko. Yeah. And I felt that was I felt like Haney's title going into the fight was disputed, and now it's undisputed. Yeah. Now he's beaten the guy, and now there's no dispute to who has all the main belts, and I've no shame in saying it that Gervonta has a belt that's not real. He's got the secondary WBA title. Devin Haney has all the belts that matter in the lightweight division right now.
And let me ask you this, because I'm looking forward to the rematch. What do you think? How do you think that rematch plays out?
See, I'm not looking forward to the rematch. That's the thing. I don't see there's anything Kambosos could do. It's like
he's gonna be different.
But does he have the ability? We know he's got to do things differently. But does he have the ability to be different? You know what I mean? Like, does he have the talent level to be different? Does he have the? Everybody knows when you get shut out like that, you've got to be different in the rematch. But there's one thing about knowing it. There's another thing about can you actually do this? Can you pull it off? I mean, first of all, I don't know what moron came up with that game plan. This guy threw 3 punches in the first minute of the fight.
Was there a game plan?
And from there, I knew it was all an uphill battle from there, because you throw 3, you gotta set the tone against a guy like Haney who's got athleticism, sort of like you did with me when you fought me. You set the tone right away to make it a physical fight, so that you don't get a stylist, a rhythm guy, to let him get into his zone. You know, and I mean, I think everybody and their mothers kind of knew that Kambosos had to set the tone early, as far as I got the experience, I've been in with the big guns, and I'm going to show you what it is to be in big-time boxing and be physical with you. And he threw 3 punches in the first minute. So you're allowing Devin to get comfortable, set himself into the ring, and just get in his rhythm. And once a guy like that gets into his rhythm, it becomes a lot harder to beat him.
Over.
So I don't understand even what kind of game plan he came into the ring with. Especially, he felt like he gave more energy in his Sparta chance before he came to the ring than he actually did when he got to the ring. You know, so that was all confusing to me as well. So when I look at that, I say, Well, I mean, what other adjustments can you make? I mean, I know the adjustments you got to make.
Yeah.
Are you capable of making them?
It ain't as simple as just throwing your hands to
No,
set
you
the
gotta
tone.
close the gap.
That ain't how you just set. You can't just set the tone with you didn't. You got to punch more.
Yeah.
I do think that he will try to be more assertive.
Yeah.
And being assertive, I think that's how he sets the tone.
But being assertive, there's some simple ways to do it, right? There's the old adage, you can jab with a jabber, you can't hook with a hooker.
Yeah.
Bro, Devin is a jabber.
Yeah.
You can at least try to jab with the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, start with that simplistic mentality. You know what I mean? Like, you could offset his jab by shooting your jab back, and then work from there, see how things evolve. But that's the simplest form of adjustment.
I love it, though. Like you said, because I feel the same way you said. I know the adjustments you need to make, but can you actually athletically make those adjustments?
And that's why I'm not really looking forward to the game plan. I don't think there's an adjustment he can make. Now, again, he may prove me wrong. Devin proved me wrong in that I thought it would be a tougher fight for him than it actually was. And then
that was Lopez's fault, though.
Of course.
Of course.
But of course, he gave us that perception. Of it. But so it's not like I can't be wrong. But the way I'm looking at it right now is I don't see a way Kambosos can be competitive with Devin Haney. I don't see that.
I would never or don't usually don't ever talk about our fight
we're here, man.
Question for you is, in my fight, was there a surprise? There's always the game plan and there's always adjustments.
Well, here's the thing with you. I kind of knew, right? This is going to be a physical guy. He's going to try to make it physical, right? And which is what you're supposed to do against a stylist. But for me, I don't think I ever got comfortable in the welterweight division as much as some guys can get comfortable at a higher weight class. I was never a strong super lightweight. So as a welterweight, I ended up winning a world title and kind of, getting my name there. But I won a world title in a manner where it was just a technical fight. It wasn't a physical fight because, first of all, the guy I won the world title from was physically big, but he didn't use his physicality. He was just a technical boxer. Yeah. And I feel like that was the reason when Hatton came back and tried to fight him, he got beat. You try to be physical against a 6-foot welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Like, that guy's too big for you to be physical. Hatton was a better super lightweight. Right. I fought Senchenko in a way where it was just a very technical fight. But when guys made it physical for me at welterweight, it was just... I was not a very big super lightweight already. I was an average size super lightweight and didn't butter my bread on my strength. I buttered my bread on my talent and my skills. So I had to try to make that work for me in the welterweight division, where there's guys who are physically stronger and bigger. So I kind of always felt a little disadvantaged at welterweight, but I couldn't make super lightweight anymore. I always had big legs, so I stayed there, and I felt like that was the game plan you were gonna bring, but it was just the physical strength was too much. I mean, I felt like I couldn't deal with it. You know what I mean? I couldn't deal with it. You were able to get inside. You had fast feet, so you were able to run inside. Yeah. And with usually, the difference with you is, guys can usually get inside, right? Because there's the adage, you can't just stop a guy with a jab. Right? So they'll force their way inside. But usually I can adjust.
Always the reset.
I can always adjust my distance, kind of like you saw Haney doing it with Kambosos, right? But Kambosos isn't as assertive as you.
Yeah.
So you are the kind of guy where you'll just want to get inside any way you can. It doesn't matter if it's pretty, because your intention to work is on the inside. Right. There's guys who want to get inside, but their intention to work is of a certain manner. Right. There's a certain technique. Not that you don't have a technique, but there's a certain technique they want to work. So you can offset that technique by hitting them on the jab on the way in. You, on the other hand, you didn't care so much about the technique. As a matter of fact,
I didn't give a damn.
You just had to get there.
It was like, okay, you want to throw a jab.
Yeah, once I'm there, you're basically of the matter. Once I'm there, doesn't matter how I get there. Once I'm there, you're gonna be in trouble. And it was like that, so because once you get in, I was trying to do my natural. I told people, I see a lot of myself in Devin Haney in that he jabs a lot, he's counterpunches a lot, he tries to hold you there, and when you get inside, he smothers you. And that was always my game plan. He gave me smothers in a very similar way to me. I used to point my left shoulder and you induct and get in there smother. You force a breath to break you, and then you have to start all over again and getting closing the gap on my jab, and that makes it very tough for a guy who needs to get inside. But with you, I tried to use that smother. It was just like you threw me off. You were physically too strong. And when I thought about it later, I said, this is a guy that you fought Usyk in the amateurs. You fought big guys, so you were used to being on the inside and clinching with guys that you could deal with physically. You used to play football, all that stuff. So you knew all that, and so that was basically. I couldn't make it a technical fight. I had no way of doing it.
Last thing, I'm going to let you go. I think Ed Brophy needs you. We're here at the Hall of Fame, in the National Boxing Hall of Fame. Paulie Malignaggi.
Yeah, I could talk for I'll end up here for hours with Shawn.
I want to let you go because I believe he needs you, but did you ever have aspirations of on being here, and then do you think you'll get here?
You know, I think you have your dreams, right? And you have your short-term dreams and your long-term dreams.
Yeah.
And I think the way you get to your long-term dreams is to check off the short-term dreams.
Absolutely.
So, because if you walk into the gym and you say, I want to be a world champion Hall of Famer, it's going to feel like it's so far away that you're going to lose your confidence right away.
Yeah.
So you start with, okay, I want to get to my first sparring session. I want to get to my first amateur fight. I want to win my first tournament. I want to win my first regional. I want to win my first national. And so on and so forth. So there, I've checked off a lot of boxes. And long term, yes, there was always the goal of a big career, championships, make myself financially secure, Hall of Fame, and all this stuff. I think everybody has those aspirations. Do I think from a physical standpoint I'll be here? I do not. But if I'm honest, I'm still satisfied with my career in that. You know, there was a lot of, you know, we're dealt the cards we're dealt with.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
I didn't have a lot of power. I had a lot of hand injuries. I had to fight the B side in a lot of my fights. You know, some guys, they're able to maneuver in a different fashion. They may have more money behind them, and you kind of get it a little better. They have no injuries. It is what it is.
I know it.
But ultimately, maybe I'll get here as a commentator. We'll see.
Man, listen, I didn't always have aspirations on being here. Once I started to see it and learn about it, I was like, yeah, I want to be there one day. People ask me now, like, do you think you have a Hall of Fame career? I don't know. I hope I do, but I don't know.
I think it's if I'm honest about your career, I think it's doable. I
hope to be in here.
Maybe
too,
maybe it won't be first ballot, but I think they'll get you. There's some guys who don't get here on the first ballot, but they're here. Buddy McGirt got in here. You know, his career ended early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think there's guys that get there, and there's guys that don't. You know, and it's also perception, Shawn, because I tell you what. Meldrick Taylor is not in here. Meldrick Taylor has a KO win over Buddy McGirt. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, and they won world titles, 2 world titles in the same weight classes, identical weight classes, 2 world titles. So you know, it's also perception. You know what I mean? So the one thing that I'm not crazy about is you're at the mercy of people's opinions.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You don't want to ever perceive yourself from people's opinions. You got to perceive yourself from your own, the way you value yourself.
Absolutely.
And that's
with
the most
that being
important thing.
said, I feel the same way you feel. I feel satisfied with what I was able to do as a fighter. Thank you for your time, Paulie. Two things in closing. You got something in your chin. I ain't want to just reach over there and get that for you. And then
this beard gets stuck in it, man.
A big shout out from my co-host Carson A. Merk. He said, "What's up,
Carson? What's up, man?"
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, champ.
Later.
All right, later.
Appreciate it, man. Paulie wanted it.
All right.
Everybody, Paulie Malignaggi. Appreciate you, Paulie. Great talker. Thank you, sir. And Carson's opinion, great guy. And we appreciate him for coming on to the podcast. Oh, that was you that walked by. Hey, look, and you kept coming back. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, you kept coming back. That's funny. Good to meet you, man. Thank you. Where we at now? What time? Almost 2. Okay. I think we're about. Oh, come on, girl. She like he ain't about to say he done. He ain't about to say he done.
Talk. Yes. You know, you have to get a real female fighter in the house.
All right, check it out. Here, put these on.
All right.
I'm gonna do a disclaimer.
Okay. All right.
And then lean in so that we can hear you. Hold on a second. Yep. Lean in so everybody can hear you. This is my disclaimer. I started boxing when I was 5 years old. So by the time I was 8, I was competing. That was like 1991, 92 is when I started to train, started competing in 1995.
Right.
And didn't stop until just last year.
Know all about you.
That's love. When I grew up in boxing, women just weren't a part of the thing. You guys weren't it. When I was an early teenager,
right,
and I was being told that there was gonna be female referees, I was like, oh man, I don't want a female referee. I'm not against female boxing.
Right.
It took a long time for me to wrap my head around women being in the sport. It's just not. It's not really where I came from, right? So you fast forward until maybe 3-4 years ago.
Right.
That's when I started to really start to pay attention to women's boxing.
Well,
so. No disrespect. No, I do not know you. I love to know you, and I want to introduce you to to my audience right now. I think we got 261 on right now.
Okay.
And it's gonna be published, so thousands more will see it. Tell us who you are, please.
My name is Eva Sweet Magic Jones Young.
Did you say what's up to Magic Man?
Hey, yeah, I seen
Okay,
Magic Man. I
all
told him he stole my name.
There you go. First thing I thought of.
Yeah, but anyway, I won 3 world titles boxing.
Eva
Jones Young.
Eva Jones Young.
I did 18 years of martial arts, won 12 world martial arts championships.
Ooh.
Won everything there in the martial arts, decided I wanted a new challenge.
Yeah.
Jumped into boxing. I never had no amateur experience. Went out, I won 3 world titles within a year and a half time.
Wow. What year was this?
1989.
You look very familiar in this right
89, yeah, because I was good. They called me the female Sugar Ray Leonard.
What belts did you win?
I won the WIBF, IFBA, and the Women's Female Boxing Association.
I'm like, what's W? What?
Yeah, all the
women.
3 women.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
before the men, WBC, IBF, they didn't pay attention to us women.
Yeah.
It was a women's organization that got the party started.
If y'all paying attention right now, please look up Eva Sweet Magic Jones Young.
Yeah,
are you Jones Young? Like
Jones Young.
Can we find you on YouTube and all that?
Yes, you can find me on YouTube.
Check her out. She say they called her the female Sugar Ray Leonard. So that's what y'all could be looking at right now. I'm not gonna co-sign because I ain't looked you up yet.
Check it out.
Yeah.
I won 2 world titles by knockout. The third one went to distance. I wanted to get her out of there, but I took my time. Yeah. She just hung in there and took a little beating. But hey, that was okay. That was okay. Yeah.
Where you from?
South Bend. I was born and raised South Bend, Indiana.
That's what's
I live
up.
on a farm
Midwest.
in Plymouth, Indiana.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm a farmer now.
Yeah.
Look.
Country.
Yeah, country.
I
love it.
What was your weight class?
Or
weight classes?
118. Yeah, all 3. 118.
Okay. And then your style for anybody that's not able to.
I was southpaw.
Southpaw.
Yes.
Who trained you? Like, where this come
Very
from?
young. I was trained in South Bend, Indiana.
Yeah. Okay.
Shout out. Yes.
That's what's up.
Yes.
So before doing boxing, and you never had any amateur experience, did you love the sport of boxing?
I always loved the sport of boxing. I had 2 brothers that was in it for over 25 years.
Okay. So it was like in you, even though it wasn't what you did.
It was in me, but my thing was martial arts.
I can't wait to look you up.
Yeah, you got to look me up.
I gotta look you up.
I was real good.
And we gotta exchange information.
Yes.
Because if I like what I see, I ain't gonna front on you. If I like what I see, which I'm expecting, I gotta have you on the podcast again.
You're gonna like what you see. I'm telling you. I can fight.
Yeah.
How many champions you know come up out of South Bend, Indiana, and win 3 world titles? And I went in their backyard to do it. I didn't have nobody picking and choosing who I fought. I fought them all.
Yeah.
And all the women I fought were world champions. I respected every one of them. But I wanted to knock them out,
yes,
too.
Ma'am.
Yes,
ma'am. What was your record one more time?
24. I had 20 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw.
And how many wins by knockout?
And I revenged 2 of my losses.
There you go. How many wins? How many wins by knockout?
Let me see. Well, the most important ones was my world titles. I don't really go on. And 2 of those were by knockout.
Yeah.
But see, we were the underdogs.
Yeah.
See, I was fighting people that was undefeated, coming in from big states and had the backing. Yeah. I knew I had to knock them out, but I set them up and knocked them out.
Okay.
I didn't just go in there looking for the knockout. See, that's how you do it.
Let's do this real quick.
Okay.
Martial arts, boxing. Yes. Got into boxing late.
I was 32 when I started boxing.
I mean,
people are retiring at that age.
Yeah, I just retired. I'm 34.
There you go.
Yeah.
So see, I had to do it quick. Get what I wanted to get and get out. And this year, I'm going into 4 Hall of Fames. I've already went into 2. I went into the National Boxing Hall of Fame. Shout out to Linda Dempsey and Bill Dempsey Young.
Yeah.
I went into the Indiana Sports Hall of Fame, which was completely different for me. I sit alongside NBA players and NFL players. Man, it was unreal. I'm going into the Martial Arts Hall of Fame on the 25th of this month. And then I'm coming back. I'm going to Vegas to the Women's International Boxing Hall of Fame.
Eva Sweet Magic Young.
Jones
Young.
All right.
For everybody that's listening, bantamweight.
3-time
world champion.
3-time world champion.
Let me do this before you go. Because what I was saying was you got into the sport late. You had already done martial arts and you wanted to knock people out. And the list goes on. You became a 3-time world champion. What were your keys to success? Success. Oh, wow. Success. What were your keys to success?
Train hard. Study. I studied every fighter I ever fought. Studied them. Studied all you guys.
Yeah.
all the men.
Yeah.
I studied Sugar Ray Leonard.
Yeah.
Marvelous Marvin Hagler.
Yeah.
Studied them all.
Yeah.
Took the good things they did.
Come on now.
And incorporated it into my style.
Yeah, come on now. And made it yours.
And then another thing, I always knew God
Amen.
was on my side.
I hear you.
Hey,
listen, man. I'm
commentating
you
on the
standing,
18th of this
and
month.
I didn't understand. And then you said, "Hold on a second. I've been over here. I didn't recognize."
That's okay.
I'm happy to meet you right now.
You too.
Congratulations on your other Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
You're not in here yet, right?
He better do something.
Good luck. Did you hear about the process? It's a process.
It's a process.
It's a lengthy one. I ain't gonna make excuses.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lengthy one.
Yeah.
And you know what?
He said he better do something.
I understand we all have to, but he needs to get us women. He's starting to. He's starting. Us women need to get in. Shout out to Samaya Nadi, 4-time world champion, right there on the front. Bonnie Mann, 2-time world champion. Hey, we out here.
Okay, I see y'all just hanging. All right.
We out here.
You speaking for them, right?
I'm speaking for them.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
We out here. Hey, and I'm getting into some commentating.
There you go.
I got a show on the 18th.
You
in
can
Kentucky.
talk. You can talk it.
I know my boxing too.
Talk it. Yeah.
I know my boxing.
Congratulations.
See, we need to see more women commentating.
Yes, ma'am.
These men fight.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I can talk boxing.
Yes,
Whenever
ma'am.
you're ready,
Yes,
we can
ma'am.
go. We can go. We can go.
And what I said to you, like I've said this publicly, people know that, I didn't really pay attention to women's boxing for a long time, but I am
That's okay.
definitely paying attention to it now. And when you pay attention,
Yep.
it's a lot of females
Well, I
out
paid
there.
attention to you guys.
Thank
That's
you.
why I'm here
Thank
today.
You. That's what's up. Thank you.
That's why I'm here.
Thank you. I'm glad you're
Believe
here.
it or not.
Huh?
And how could
Absolutely. I have no problem doing commentating the female fight. I've commentated some female fights. I did the Olympic Games this past year for NBC.
Yes.
And I'm kind of gloated by myself for a little bit.
That's right. You deserve to.
I went at the women just like I gave them the exact same
That's
energy.
the respect.
Yep.
That's that respect.
My producer comes into the room after we had done a female championship fight, and he looked at me. He said, "You know what? That was special." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "What you did right there was very special."
Yes.
He said, "We knew who was going to win this fight from the moment the bell rang." He said, "But the way you used your energy and talked about both women, and the way you did that was really special." He says, "I've listened to this and I've done it for a long time." He says, "You kept me interested. You kept me entertained.
Yeah, you're good.
Even though I knew what was going to happen, you still kept me entertained." He says, "Never lose that." He said, "That was special what you just did." I was like,
it's that excitement.
Doing what I do. You know what I mean?
You're born with it.
I got no problem.
I've been watching you your whole career.
That's awesome.
Man,
Thank you. I'm humble
I
right
can
now. I'm
imitate
very, very
you.
humble. Yeah, I believe it. I
Believe
believe.
that.
Don't do that right now.
Believe that.
Don't do that right now. Mute her. Don't imitate me. Yeah.
No.
That's
but
what's
I've been
up.
keeping track of you for a long time.
You know what? Last thing I'm gonna ask
great.
you, and then I'm gonna let you go. What are you doing now for women's boxing? I'm assuming that you're
me and my husband, we run the St. James Boxing Club, amateur boxing club.
Where's that at?
Over 60 years in Elkhart,
wow,
Indiana.
60 years.
We're moving to Plymouth, Indiana.
You don't
over
even
60
look.
years.
You 60 now? Wow.
No, I'm
not gonna
57.
ask.
I'm 57.
Okay.
I'm proud to be 57.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm trying to get into some motivational speaking
There
with
you
the
go.
kids.
There you go.
And I'm trying to get into doing some commentating.
Yeah.
And, I'm just living.
Yeah.
I'm living life. I live on a 10-acre farm. Man, I got beefalo,
I love it.
40
I love
chickens.
It. I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
Now, is a beefalo the same thing as a buffalo?
No.
See, that's why I had to ask.
It is part cow, part buffalo.
Okay.
And the meat is good and it's very healthy.
You got some beefalos over there, huh?
Beefalos.
Y'all ain't know nothing about no beefalos till y'all met Eva.
That's
You know
right.
nothing about no beefalos.
40 chickens. Look, fresh eggs every morning.
That's what's up.
Man, life is good.
I'm so happy to meet you right now. You don't even know.
I'm so proud to meet you because I've been watching you. I'm telling
Thank
you and your daddy, y'all the perfect combination.
Yeah, thank you.
Perfect combination,
Thank
man.
You. Everybody keeps saying, "Where your dad at? Where your dad?" I'm like, it's only me this year. They called me. I didn't call him. That's the. All right. They called me. I didn't call him.
You guys were the A team.
Yeah.
People
thank
criticize, say what they want.
Yes, ma'am.
But look where you at today.
I don't give a damn about
look where you at today.
Say. Yep.
You had to do it for yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
See, that's what people
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
understand. They get into these sports and they want to please everybody
Yes,
else.
ma'am.
But when you do it for yourself,
There you go.
learn.
There you go.
You learn.
There you
And
go.
that's why I always enjoyed my career.
We gotta connect.
Yes.
Because you got so much more to offer than just coming on my
Yes.
podcast. So we gotta connect. All right.
Yes.
Pleasure to meet you,
You too.
Eva.
You too.
Magic, sweet magic.
Sweet magic.
Sweet magic.
Check me out.
Good to meet you. I
Female
will.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
I
But-
will.
But you know what? To be honest with you, I love Sugar Ray, but I still have better feet.
Uh-oh. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Thank you, sir.
Sweet magic,
Thank
Eva
you. Thank you. Oh,
Jones. Thank you, sir.
Mel, bring those gloves.
Oh, is this her? Oh, okay,
That's
got
right.
you.
Yes, you got to check her out.
We are getting off the podcast now. We've been on.
Good.
Yeah, we've been on.
Let's get you in there.
Too long at this point. So.
Please sign his gloves.
Yeah. I will.
Champion for heroes. It's to honor our fighters and our military with traumatic brain injuries.
Okay. We're getting out of here. We want to thank Eva, sweet magic, Jones Young for coming on 24-1, I believe. Is what she said. Check her out on YouTube. 3-time world champion for female fighting. There you go. 12-time martial arts champion as well. I mean, she sound bad. I can't wait to watch her on YouTube. Hopefully, I can find something on her. Hopefully, y'all can as well. All that being said, I'm gonna keep y'all up on what we got going on the rest of this week. I got to talk to Ed. Clearly, if y'all ain't here, I got to talk to Ed about coming on, getting this podcast to go live during the induction ceremony. We'll see what happens. Stay tuned via Twitter, Instagram, all that good stuff. God bless you guys. We'll see you soon. That was great. Nice way to end it, too.